Cobb, starting with the Panthers, who crushed the Senators 6-3. Next up, the Cats will host the Bruins tomorrow night. Over to the Heat, who welcome in the Boston Celtics tonight. Tip-off is at 7:30 from the Kaseya Center. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. And in baseball, the Marlins beat the White Sox 9-2. The teams will meet for the rubber match this afternoon with the first pitch at 1:10 from Lone Depot Park. And the game can be heard on 560 AM. And the Hurricanes blew out Florida Gulf Coast 12-4. Next up, Miami hosts Virginia Tech for a 3-game series beginning Friday. The Joe Rose Show begins now.
10 seconds in the power play. Ekblad to Jones right. Circle a shot, and it deflects away again. Then they score the rebound from the side of the net. It's Carter Verhaeghe there to jam it home, and the Panthers take a 3-0 lead with 10:51 to go in the first. Now a 2-on-1 coming back. It's Sam Bennett with Carter Verhaeghe. Bennett right side of the circle. Verhaeghe scores. Top shelf. What a setup from Bennett. Verhaeghe gives the Panthers a 5-0 lead with 5:24 to go here in the first. Puck carried away by Ekblad. Out come the Panthers. Verhaeghe, when he goes, high slot, couldn't get a shot away cleanly. Stutzla didn't clear. Verhaeghe, good play to play it down to Bennett out front. A chance, and they score! And it's Matthew Tkachuk right out in front. 6-1 Panthers. 1-2. Casey loops into shallow center, falling quickly. That is in for a base hit. Hicks read it beautifully. He's getting the runaround. Throw is up the third base line, and it kicks away from Carroll. Hicks comes in to score. Casey pushes to second, and it's an RBI knock for Big Red. Fish have a lead. It's 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth. 1-2. Conine drills a mile out to right. No doubt about it. Into the White Sox bullpen. He got 91 over the heart of the plate, and Griff did not miss a stitch of it. 107 off the bat, and the Fish have blown this thing open. It's 9-2 in the home eighth.
I'm not looking to we're going to look to do this our way. I have so much respect for how the Packers do things from the top down, but this is not going to be like we're trying to recreate anything. What I tried to bring to Green Bay was a play style on defense that we were going to play harder and more physical and more violent than everybody that we played. And that's what I wanted to add to the Green Bay Packers. And I think for the most part, if you turned on our tape, we played pretty hard. So I want our whole team here in Miami to play with that same mindset. This isn't just about me coaching the defense now. This is about the culture of every person that touches that field. That's what I want it to look like. So this is not going to be, yeah, this is how we did it in Green Bay. I have a ton of respect for everything in Green Bay. I mean, even these guys, I mean, they've been unbelievable. But this is now about the Miami Dolphins and how we're going to do things.
Well, we heard a little bit from everybody there, man. Got a couple of wins last night. Jeff Hafley getting fired up with John Eric Sullivan at the owners' meetings with GMs and then the head coaches talking to the media. And a lot of stuff coming out. We'll get you caught up on everything and what Jeff Hafley had to say since we're a couple weeks away, man. April 1st today, so no April Fools. We're not allowed to do that. We used to do some great pranks, man. Some of them were over the top, and people laughed at us for being, like, dude, you went too far. Now, nobody's buying that. But we had some good ones.
You remember any of them that you could tell us?
I remember a few people being very upset because I didn't have a filter at one point in my life. When you're working around Neil Rogers, you can't have a filter because anything you do is just like, well, wasn't even close to what Neil did. But we did some raunchy stuff and some bad stuff and stuff that I no longer do as I'm grown up. And my kids are growing up here in town, and now the grandkids are old enough when Papa or Grandpa says stupid ass stuff, they, oh, that was dumb. Did he really say, turn it, man, turn. Anyway, so we got April 1st, 23 days until the first round of the NFL draft. Wow. And then last night, where'd that come from? So the Senators come to town 2 points out of the last playoff position, 2 out of that last playoff position. So they're in good shape. Nice little story for Ottawa. And the game's over in the first period. And by the way, it could have been like 8-0. They were firing shots, 5 goals. It was 5-0 after the first period. I got to tell you, man, that team, and they're not going anywhere. It's just a matter of any day now. They're going to be knocked out of the playoffs. But for the Tkachuk, are out. And 3 goals and 3 assists last night for him. Verhaeghe, 2 goals and an assist. They get a 6-3 win. They're trying to win. They're not worried about draft picks, nobody. And the team's definitely, the way they're playing and playing their best guys, trying to win these friggin' games. But it's coming to an end because they're just so far out. But boy, you go to that game last night and you're going, all right, man, that's our championship team. Get a bunch of Senators got sloppy with the stick, took some penalties, and so the Panthers made them pay with power play goals last night. And the Marlins, got some great stories going there with different guys. Griffin Conine hits a home run last night. I mean, he got it all. Hicks hits a home run. Casey, the rookie, Big Red, gets a couple RBIs last night as well. So they get a nice win. Today, 110. They'll get their final game of this homestand before hitting the road, getting a day off, and then we'll play the Yankees Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Talk about jumping up in competition, huh? How about that? Open with the Rockies, then the White Sox, and then go play the Yankees. So we got all kinds of stuff to get to, but I got thrown kind of a curve off the show today, and we're going to stick with the show and stuff we have going on. We got spring football for a loaded Miami Hurricanes football team going on. We'll get to that. We're going to talk to Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst. Joe Z's going to join us. We'll talk to him. And also Omar will join us out at the meetings, and we'll talk to him this morning. So we have a lot of stuff going on here that we want to get to. Fernando Mendoza. I hope everybody strokes him as much as Ty Simpson after his workout today, because Ty Simpson's workout, it was just like dogpiling of greatness. I swear to God, I thought Ty Simpson was going to be the first overall pick by the time I watched ESPN and they finished their shows. But anyway, Fernando Mendoza's pro day at Indiana is today. Of course, NFL Network will have all the coverage, and so we'll jump on that. Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst, will join us later in the show. But I want to get to a couple other things that kind of hit me last night, and stay with me on this, Woody, and I'm trying to keep it simple. I know I'm not right. Everybody's going to have their own opinion on this. For all of us that have been fans of different sports, and I ended up spending time last night and this morning just looking at all this stuff through the years and being older. The one good thing about being older is I've seen a lot of these guys, all different times, all the great players play, different generations of great players play. Yeah, I caught Willie playing to, Roberto Clemente. I got to see a lot of guys, and I was lucky enough. My dad took me as a kid to Candlestick Park, and I got to see a lot of the really good players, mostly in the National League. And then I, was lucky enough to watch the Oakland A's when they had their championships, and watch, some of the great players also in the American League when the Oakland A's were actually the best team in baseball. People forget about that. But last night, LeBron gets another record, and Alex Ovechkin, ironically, gets another record. So Ovechkin last night, 30 goals for the 20th season, which is just, he's 40 years old. He got 2 more goals last night to go to 30 goals, which is really amazing. I mean, the guy is the greatest goal scorer of all time, but he's still doing it at a pretty good level, which is, we thought maybe this would be it. He got the record last year from the great one, and I thought, he'll be done here. No, the guy loves playing. We talk about this, the 40-year-old club of guys. LeBron gets most points in a career, and now he's got most wins as of last night for regular season and playoffs from the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who played for a long, long time himself. So I started thinking about that, and then the news with Tiger, and by the way, I wish only Tiger the best. Hey man, whoever was around him, or within minutes, it looked like he was going to try to go with that. I'm fine. I don't need help. He was going to lie a little bit about what happened in the car, and he reached down to grab his phone, which is a classic, by the way. I don't know how far I can go on this because I don't want to offend anybody, especially in my neighborhood. But that was his story one night when the phone is a classic of I dropped my phone. I went down to pick it up, and the car, when I did that, the car hit something. So that's one of the great, like when guys are late for work, we talk about, oh, the tire was out, my alarm didn't go off, something, well, we come up with stuff. And the same with when you get in these accidents. And so, listen, man, I'm glad to see Tiger. Bottom line is, whatever it is, prescription, painkillers, addiction, whatever, he's getting help. And, man, I wish him only the best. I'm not doing any shtick on it, nothing, pain management, whatever he's going through in his life, whatever little demons are popping up, because the guy's had more surgeries than guys that played in the NFL for 20 years. He really has. He's had a zillion, some of them self-inflicted, don't get me wrong. Getting in car accidents has never been good for the body. But, man, I wish him only the best up there. Wherever he's going, I know he's super private, really don't care where he's going. I just hope he gets out and we get to see the guy enjoy his life a little bit. That's how I feel. He's given me, personally, a lot of my best entertainment growing up here and seeing it in person at the Cadillac Championship at Doral when he was playing in that. And then watching what things that he did on the golf course. Honestly, we've never seen others do with every part of his game in big moments and big events. For that, and that kind of got me going between Tiger, LeBron, and Alex Ovechkin. Started looking at lists last night. I don't know why I do this, because some will say it's lazy radio, and I get it. And we did that. Who's the best at this? Who's the best in that? So I always like to go back and look at these lists, these AI lists where they put all the numbers in and they feed it through the computer, and they come out with the greatest players of all time in all these sports. And I'm always interested because I've been lucky enough, because I am 68, to watch them all, see a lot of them play. And I'm a junkie. And I do enjoy, I've said it for years, when Brady came to town or any other great player, I love watching it, man. I want to see them at their best, and I want to see how our guys and our quarterbacks play against their guys, and how everybody plays against the best guys. But I was looking at the list last night, and they have top 10 for every sport. And going back to before I was born, or when I was a baby to now. And I thought it was really interesting. I consider, everybody has their own sport. And if you don't like certain sports, I get it. I just happened to grow up in a time in a small town where we played every sport. And the great part of growing up in small towns, you play every sport, you watch every sport. You couldn't wait for the next season of whatever was coming up, the next sport. And that's kind of how it was in Northern California growing up. I know a lot of you just like certain sports now, and that's fine. But I did the top 2 last night, just looking at the top 2 in all the different sports. Like, for me, golf's easy. Golf's actually the easiest. First of all, it's an individual sport, and so you can go by numbers on that. But yeah, Jack and Tiger are my top 2 guys. And listen, what Tiger's done for golf, probably even more than, maybe a lot more than what Jack did for golf. But Jack has won a lot of championships, man. And listen, I believe Tiger would have had a zillion if he could have had his life straightened away a little bit and didn't have all these things happen to him. I believe there are a lot more championships left in the tank, but we'll never know. And even saying that, you look at him, you would have never known. There are a lot of people that stayed real healthy would love to have that kind of career of wins around the world, to championships, to, all the different places that guy has won and the amount of tournaments he's won. And again, so I want to start with that, saying this morning, man, I wish him only the best. I'm not doing any shtick and nothing, because I thought he's going to come out. I was going to blast him if he did excuses for a while, leave me alone, I'm fine, and was going to be in denial, because that happens when people need. We've gone through treatments, and I've gone through treatments with relatives and with teammates, and in serious denial, sitting there next to a wife or a girlfriend, and the guy mad at all of us and screaming, and then finally get him to, at some point when something bad goes, he finally breaks down. I don't know if any of you have out there have ever been through it. They're hard to go through because you feel like after being a bonding brother, you feel like a real piece of doo-doo. And I do it with a relative who happened to be a first-round pick and a Major League Baseball player. I went through it with him. And they suck. And he never got over it, and he ended up dying. Later on, my cousin was Rod Scurry, played for the Pirates. I'm not making it up. So, anyway, I wish him only the best, man. I hope he gets straightened out and he's good to go. But getting back to this other thing before I get deep here this morning and all this stuff. And Woody, you know the funny part, because you and I go at it because we're different ages, man, by a lot. And you always go for young guys. And the classic has always been LeBron and MJ. And then a lot of other guys go, hey, no, you're leaving out. You're leaving out Bill and Kareem is a mistake. People on the West Coast see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is right up there. And anybody watch up there, Bill Russell's the winningest dude in any sport of all time.
Yeah, the problem is, like, if I'm doing that, I have to take your word for it. I never saw this guy.
No.
I like
and that's
to put
fair.
guys I've seen play.
No, I got and
that have made an impact on you. You know,
you're exactly right. You are exactly right. And then, you know, a lot of people think Barry Bonds is right up there, and then his numbers are. I mean, he's one of the greatest. If you made a mistake to him, he made you pay. And then when he started getting really lathered up there, he not only made you pay with, you know, a base hit or one off the fence. He started hitting McCovey Cove. He started hitting it out in the Pacific Ocean there, man, out in the Bay. So, you know, it's an interesting list. And then I looked at Ovechkin last night. You know what's funny? You ever hear anybody talk about Ovechkin being one of the 2 or 3 best players of all time, even though he's not? I mean, he's not to the hardcore. You know, they talk about Bobby Orr and Mario and a lot of different guys. And again, that's the sport I didn't have growing up, and the Panthers have tried to bring me up to date on everything. Football, I was looking at that last night, and I go, well, Tom Brady's got to be one. He's got to be one. I'm not talking greatest athlete of all time or just a guy to put up numbers and wins. I just don't know how you don't have Tom Brady number 1 and Jerry Rice number 2. And again, we got receivers down here that don't think Jerry Rice is a good. We got some of them live right here in town. There's been some of the best.
Jerry Rice is one of those guys that I got to take your word for it, right? Because I didn't really get to watch him play. But there have been guys that have played during my lifetime that, I mean, are just unbelievable.
Well, there's guys that ran faster than Jerry, jumped higher,
sure,
had really good games, but don't have his numbers. Another guy that played at a real high level.
It's just tough to, like, imagine someone being better than, like, a Randy Moss or
I know,
you know, Calvin Johnson all those years, right? Like what he was doing.
Hey, so you know what I like to do this morning, just while you're driving, whatever your favorite of the 5 or 6 top sports. And we don't have time to get to everything. I'm already super late this morning. But whatever your sport is that you like and whatever your age is or what you've heard growing up from your grandfather or your father of Jim Brown. My dad used to say Jim Brown's the greatest player of all time. You know, and you'll get that argument. And everybody's going to have different baseball players that are the greatest of all time. I think Willie Mays the greatest of all time, but I also know Babe was a pitcher and hit a zillion home runs.
Yeah, but you didn't watch him play.
No, I never
really
saw him
happened
play.
to be your favorite player growing up.
That's part of it. By the way, that's part of it too. You're right.
The guy we're watching in LA right now, he
got to do more.
Second to none. But
yeah, but he's got to do more. He can't be done.
I got you, but he's not done.
I'm not talking about the guys on their. I'm not talking about the guys on their way because Mahomes could be on his way, and there could be the guys that are on their way.
Mahomes is already in the conversation. I mean, he's not number 1, but he's in the conversation.
He ain't in the top 10 players of all time yet. He's just not. But anyway, hey,
there's not a lot of quarterbacks I'd rather go if I had to win one game.
We're not doing one game, bro.
I know, but I'm just saying, you talk about greatest ever, like Mahomes is in that conversation.
Yeah.
But I think this guy Ohtani that we're watching right now who pitched last night.
Yeah. You're really showing your age, bro.
Well,
no.
You know, what do you want me to tell you, Babe Ruth?
Well, you act like you're 20 years old, bro.
You want me to throw the great Bambino at you?
No. But you've seen a lot of good, really great players.
I have, but I've never seen anything like this guy that's pitching.
No, he is doing stuff.
The Dodgers. Never seen anything like that.
We just want to see it more than just, 3 or 4 years now that he has played like the best player. I mean, clearly the best player in baseball, to your point. Hey, we got more from Coming out from the owners' meetings, we'll hear more from Jeff Hafley. Had some interesting stuff to say, including the Chopper, Chop Robinson. I thought it was interesting. The guys wasted very little time getting to that topic. We got more from John Eric Sullivan, our general manager, as well. We got a lot of stuff going on here, and so we'll get to all this stuff that's going on in sports this morning as we continue on here. Heat and Celtics tonight, Tatum and Brown. Tatum got the last game off. He's back, and we'll be in that lineup tonight. So here we go. Busy, crazy time going on here. Hey, Recovery Unplugged, right? Wow, what a way to start, right? With the news coming out with Tiger. Hey, man, whatever you're going through in your life, it doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter any of those things, man. I just want to see all my brothers out there. They're going through some hard times in their life and just got off the road, man. I've been around them my whole life. I really have. Growing up for now, and guys that have trouble, you just can't get back on the road on your own, man. Drinking too much, painkillers, drugs, just in a funk and just can't get out of your depression. Whatever it is, man, if your mental health needs a comeback season, Recovery Unplugged, Dr. Barry and his staff, really good at what they do. Their behavioral health is here to help you with a beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, base healing, and innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Make this a year you put yourself first. Get back on the road, man. Let's get you back in the lane you feel comfortable and happy with. Call 954-737-4508. It happens, man. Visit recoveryunplugged.com. New year, new you. Recovery Unplugged. Heal out loud.
hottest slots, great.
This is how we're going to hold each other accountable, and then we're going to hold you to it. It's not going to be, hey, this is what we say we want, but then we're going to not show up on time, and we're not going to put in the extra work, and we're not going to do the little things that we're saying. That's not how it's going to work. It's going to be a shared vision, and then my job and our job as coaches is to hold them to that. Because if you're telling me you want to be up here and be this great, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to sit down and have that conversation. And then don't get mad at me when it's 110 degrees and you don't feel like doing it anymore. I'm going to make you do it because you told me when you were comfortable in this meeting room in air conditioning that that's what you wanted. And I'm going to remind you of that. And I think that's a really good example is tell me how great you want to be. Tell me what your goals are. I'm going to do everything in my power. So you better be on time or then you're full of it. That's not what you want. And then be very direct and honest with the players and don't give them any gray area. And I think the players, all the great ones that I've been around, they respect that. And it's not like a demeaning thing at all. It's I'm going to be demanding, and I'm not going to demean them. I'm just going to push them because they're going to want to be great.
Oh, Jeff Hafley, man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Head coach of the Miami Dolphins obviously was asked that question that I'm still shaking my head about, that it even comes up.
I give people a little peek, by the way, the reaction when the guy starts talking about on time. You look like you're having like a sexual experience in there.
Well, I don't get that far.
That's like a sports
way. But hey, no, I got you. No, to your point.
The face you make when he was talking about on time.
I am, we sit around sometimes, the older guys, these alumni events, including the one we just had at the end of the season, and it comes up, and all the guys kind of laugh. Like, this can't really be something, man. Like, I know the world's changed. You don't practice the same way. You talk to people differently. I get it. I understand. But being on time, that's never going to change, man. 100 years from now, it's going to be, you got to be on time. Somewhere, it's going to be saying, got to be on time. So Jeff Hafley, like you were standing there when I said it to him. You were there. I hit him with the first. I think I was the first one to bring it up.
But don't you think this is going to continue to be a problem with athletes, right? Because the way they're coddled starting early.
I don't think most teams have that problem.
Okay.
I don't think.
Maybe not with the pros, but it seems like
you think Mario?
No, I don't. But
so Mario's got a guy that's really good on the team right now. That's sometimes has trouble being on time.
I just don't.
But he's going to learn. He's learning as we speak.
It just seems like the athletes are not brought up the same way. And that's, I'm not here to say if that's right or wrong, but there's not as much discipline, I guess I would say. I think you see that as well.
So I'm not buying that.
We're also in the age of if the athlete is disgruntled, if they're not happy,
I know. There are guys.
They take their ball and go home.
I'm not going to sit here, and I may be wrong. There's high school coaches know more about it than I do. And the whole parent thing is a separate topic. But I still believe that most guys that are playing sports and women are on time and do it the right way. Now, I know parents are a lot more involved. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's the way it is. And I get it. My dad dropped me off. He didn't want to hear about me bitching. Said, just do what they tell you. That's it. I grew up, teacher was right, police officer was right, principal was right, and coach was right. And deal with it. And if you got a problem, go talk to him. That was the other one. He was big on, but you need to go talk to him. And then if I see something's wrong, I'll ask him, hey, what's my son doing wrong? But there was always an angle that was on me and I kind of respected that, including wanting to quit in college. And he goes, no, you're not. How are you getting home? You're not quitting. Well, I want to go to junior college. The only outlet back then was you go to junior college. Like while you had eligibility early on, I was like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to be here. This guy Mike White's a psycho. I don't want to. That's he recruited me and kissed my ass. Now he's being mean. So I want to come home. I'm done. Initiation is ridiculous. He got me a no clothes on, running up in the damn hill where we trained. I said, my underwear. I said, this is crazy, man. I ain't signed up for this. Stay. How you getting home? Ain't nobody around here picking you up. You don't have a car. Good luck. I know you don't have any money. So anyway, I understand not everybody's that way. I'm getting that point I just did that for the old schoolers, but I still believe most guys want to do it the right way. And I ain't buying, well, some guys didn't grow up because they didn't have a father. I ain't buying that. We got some tough moms out there. You know, you need to be on time. You know what? We were talking about this. I just thought of Malachi Toney, who's already in, catching footballs out by himself, but now some of the guys see that it works for him, and has taken total leadership of the Miami Hurricanes at age 18. You saw it, Woody. I looked at you and I go, Woody, look who's leading the group out. Woody, look who came out with the receivers 40 minutes early on the side, and they're going through plays. And he's got the scripts in his hand, and he's talking to the young receivers. 18 years old. Leader. Remember that? He turned 18, third or fourth game of the season? Yeah, 18 years old. I don't believe that it's a problem. It's only a problem if the big man, the head guy, lets it be a problem. If you want to be the substitute teacher and you want guys to run all over you, you can ask the guy that's the offensive coordinator for the Chargers what that was like, because that's what happened. And then he thought it was a good idea to let everybody know, which I think to this day is one of the dumbest things. I would at least hide it if I found out guys running all over me. I would at least not want. There's some things I just don't want. Hey, man, good look for me. And he wanted guys to own it and other guys to get mad about it. And I'm like, ooh, that's going to look bad on the resume there, Mike. That's not going to look good. And I think you do a lot of good things, but that's a bad one. And then stories started coming out. Tyreek and other guys just ran all over him. He not only ran real fast on the field, he was running real fast by the coach. So anyway, I was glad to see Jeff Hafley say all that stuff. It's embarrassing to even have to get up and hear that soundbite and that it's a problem. I was just thinking of our other guys. We got to go to break. I'm running super late. Can you imagine Spo? Whatever you think of Spo. You think Spo's putting up? Or Pat Riley or Spo and Pat Riley watching? Where's your best player? He's late. He's got to leave early. Had something to do at home. Jeff Hafley ain't going to let that happen is my point here this morning as we got on. By the way, can't wait to hear what he had to say about Chop Robinson yesterday, because that was the other one. Hey, first-round pick going into year 3. Didn't do much last year. Well, what are your thoughts on Chop? Huh? Kind of still one of the key guys. Can he make it? Is he going to get better? We'll hear from Coach on that. We got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. But first, before we get into all that stuff, I want to talk to you about your South Florida Chevy dealers. They had the great Chevy Truck Month, man, but I just want to let you know, if you missed it, hey, get on down there and tell them, hey, I still want that great Chevy Truck Month deal that you have. I've been working my ass off. I didn't have a chance to come and get that brand new Silverado that you guys have that I like so much. And I'll tell you what, they've made a Silverado absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. I'll never stop talking about Chevy trucks or their SUVs as far as that goes, with that beautiful Tahoe out in front here right now. Hey, whether you're choosing from a heavy duty or light duty, doesn't matter. Dependability always comes standard. We make a Silverado truck absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. Whether you work 7 days a week in that truck, that's how you make a living, working for yourself, and you need a truck you can depend on that has the durability you have, we got it for you. Hey, how about that truck to still get the family around all week and still have the toys to enjoy that day off you do have, whether it's going out in that little fishing boat or maybe going out in the wave runners. You want to have fun in Fort Lauderdale or down in Miami Beach. Boy, we got a truck absolutely perfect for you. Great deals going on. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, South Florida Chevy dealers have never looked better. Take a test drive. Get a great deal today from your South Florida Chevy dealers.
WQAM
Sit here and say that I want this, and this. I want Malik to come in and be himself. I don't want him to change on or off the field, because he's an incredible human. I think he's got great leadership qualities that guys will rally around. I've seen it. These guys have seen it. And I've seen what he can do on the field. He needs to develop. He needs to continue to grow. But I'm not gonna put any expectation on what I want to see from him.
All right, that was once again Jeff Hafley at the owners' meetings. Omar Kelly's going to join us early this morning, so we're going to be talking to him coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, so don't go away for that. He's been out there with general manager and the head coach, as well as everything going on in the National Football League with their owners' meetings for a couple of days here, as the whole gang will be flying back today. But, yeah, a lot being said, and you heard him talking about Malik Willis, his quarterback, and hey, man, it's his team. I mean, it's his team. All I got to say is, and I know they know this, though everybody's writing stuff that they already know, and I'm guessing a lot of fans going, you don't think they know that? You don't think they know they got holes everywhere? They're going to fill them in, but they got to make sure priority number one has to be the offensive line. And I know we got holes everywhere. And you may have a hole that you think's bigger than the hole I'm talking about, but I want to make sure that O-line is not just 5, but it's got a guy or 2 behind them that's got a chance to be really good. That's got to be number 1. And number 2, we are empty with proven guys on the outside. Now we got some nice guys we've picked up that have had their moments in the NFL. One of them from right here in South Florida, but we need to go out. And, boy, I'll tell you what, that's right at the top of my priority list is that wide receiver. And if there is 1 or 2 or 3 guys that look like they could be number 1s or real close to it, I know true number 1s are hard to find. But if not a 1, a really, really good number 2 receiver, go get him. That's got to be right up there too. Now, no, I ain't taking away from the pass rush. Obviously, you're empty there. Or just about empty there. We'll talk about one of the other guys, but boy, that offense, before we get to anything, give Malik a chance to have success and give him some weapons and get that offensive line taken care of and go from there. I know we need cover corners. I'm not forgetting about all the other needs and pass rushers. And I'm not saying pass rusher might be number 1. It might be more empty than anything on your team. And speaking of that, so Jeff Hafley, by our writers who have followed this up close, know that Chop Robinson, with 4 sacks and 10 solo tackles in 15 games for a number 1 guy, when you got rid of and traded away another guy who became the highest paid free agent in football, that Chop was going to get a bigger role. And we need to see it. We didn't see it last year. We just didn't. And if Chop thinks we did, then he's looking in a mirror that's lying to him. Here's what Jeff Hafley had to say about Chop Robinson going into year 3.
Well, I think it's going to happen when we get him on the field. I mean, Chop's had some success. If you build a pass rush tape, a Chop, he does things that are like, I can't wait to get my hands on this guy. But I think we need to get to know him. Right? I want to see him live. I want to see what he looks like in his stance. I want to see what we can do to help him out of his stance, out of his first step. What's his go-to move? Is he going to win with speed? What's his counter? Can we coach him up on that, right? Can we help him take the step? What's his mindset like? Where is he at right now, right? So I just talked to him on the phone a bunch. I can't wait to coach him. But he certainly has that. His first few steps, his get off, I mean, he can roll. I mean, and now it's our job to coach him up and develop him and help him get better.
There you have it. Jeff Hafley talking about first round pick going into year 3 from Penn State. And get more. I mean, everybody knows he's got that. He's quick. He's fast, athletically. It's once the contact is made with an offensive lineman is where there's been problems. It's not his first step. That's not the problem. And using his hands better and just got to make more plays. Got to be, got to be better against the run. There's all those things. So Jeff Hafley said, hey, man, fresh start. Let's roll. I think you can play. We need you. Obviously, we're going to need you going into year 3 as our top guy. And here we go. Patrick Paul's proven he can play. We need you now. Our number 2's rolling. We got to get number 1 going. So that was kind of the message going out from Jeff Hafley and like listen to John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley has been very refreshing. And it's not a shot at anybody else. It's just refreshing to hear. And I know the roster is not where it needs to be. Hey, there's a good chance when we get all these draft picks in place, the roster still got a lot of work. Fins will try to win every game. That was another big topic yesterday. The Fins will try to win every game. I do believe that. There is no question they're going to play the best guys or the guys they think has the most upside to grow quickly, and their draft class can be a big part of it. But they're not going to have enough talent when it's all said and done to win a lot of games, in my opinion. You don't have enough experience. You're going to have 20-plus rookies or second-year players on this team, and they just don't have experience. They haven't had success yet, and there's going to be a growing pain in there for everybody. As long as they stick with it, stay strong mentally, physically, and you got a lot of role players trying to get their careers going to show that their frontline players are going to get great opportunity there. There's why a lot of free agents, especially that weren't going to make a lot of money, wanted to be here because it's a good place to get your career going again. But I don't know. They were asked, and they've been asked about, it's false to say we're not trying to win now. We are in a unique situation. Everybody knows what unique situation is, as in most of our money for payroll is dead money. It's at the cemetery. It's dead. It's not coming back. So we're going to lose it for a year. But it'll come around, and it's still got a chance to have a lot of good things. A lot of good things. And all of a sudden, this draft coming up in 3 weeks has got importance like we haven't seen in a long, long time, knowing that all 11 of those picks, hell, there may be more. By the time it's all said and done and we get to that first round, there may be more picks. Hell, it may happen between the first and second round. It may happen that late Thursday night, Friday morning. It may happen. There could be more picks. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Really good performance by the Panthers against Senators. 5 goals in that first period last night. We've got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. Omar Kelly going to join us coming up from Arizona. And wide awake. Couldn't sleep last night. That's good. That's good. Omar sounds like he's by himself out there. That's good sign. We got all kinds of news to get to. We got a lot of stuff and a lot of sports to get to here this morning. We'll have for you. But first, I want to take a moment this morning to talk about, had this talk yesterday with about four guys at tennis of all places. And one guy asked me, and it's a joke, and I understand guys try to, break the ice a little bit. Go, hey, you go to Atlantic Men's Clinic, man, dude, I heard you talking about low T and ED. I go, yeah, I had both of them. It sucked. And we kind of laugh, yeah. But I could tell they wanted to know about it. And they go, hey, man, all I can tell you is Atlantic Men's Clinic, and you know the deal, guys. If your energy level, you gain weight, you're not active as you'd like to be, sexually, ED, when that's the, guys can live with low T and being tired. Nobody wants to be tired all the time in your 40s, 50s, 60s. But when ED now starts to hang out with low T, you got a big problem, man. And it messed with me. I literally was about ready to go to a counselor again and go, hey, man, something's wrong. And, I don't know what. Atlantic Men's Clinic laughed and said, oh, no, Joe, this is normal, man. Happens to every guy out there. And we know how to fix it. This is what we do. Atlantic Men's Clinic, our specialty is knocking out low T and ED. They will leave. If you don't want to see them, they're going to be gone. If you'd like to get your energy level back up like it used to be and your sex drive back like it hasn't been in a long, long time, chase that little lady around like you haven't in a long, long time, you want her to be more than just your friend every day, sleeping in a different bedroom, Hey, man, that stuff will all come to a halt real quickly when you go to Atlantic Men's Clinic. I know that firsthand, man. I'm telling you. You got to set up that first appointment. You get the PSA test, if medically advised, the test dose. You sit down with their professional staff. They look at your numbers. They put you on a program. Now it's up to you. Do you want to do it or not? Do you want to feel better or not? You want to get your sex drive back? 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. A brand new one in Hollywood. I go to Plantation. Don't be afraid to ask. Does Joe Rose really come in here? They can tell you that. 877-455-7300. The results will be amazing. Not good, really good. AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Get more information. Check it out. Set up that first appointment with Atlantic Men's Clinic. It works.
WQ
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. We good?
Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball. And now, the new home of the two-time World Series winner, Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. Always feel less than your Pricito. Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia, DoralKia.com. Starting with the Panthers, who crushed the Senators 6-3. Next up, the Cats will host the Bruins tomorrow night. Over to the Heat, will welcome the Boston Celtics tonight. Tip-off is at 7:30 from the Kaseya Center. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. And in baseball, the Marlins beat the White Sox 9-2. The teams will meet for the rubber match this afternoon with the first pitch at 1:10 from Lone Depot Park. The game can be heard on 5:60 a.m. And the Hurricanes beat up on Florida Gulf Coast 12-4. Next up, Miami hosts Virginia Tech for a 3-game series beginning Friday. The Joe Rose Show continues now.
I'm not looking to we're gonna look to do this our way. I have so much respect for how the Packers do things from the top down, but this is not going to be like we're trying to recreate anything. What I tried to bring to Green Bay was a play style on defense that we were going to play harder and more physical and more violent than everybody that we played. And that's what I wanted to add to the Green Bay Packers. And I think for the most part, if you turned on our tape, we played pretty hard. So I want our whole team here in Miami to play with that same mindset. This isn't just about me coaching the defense now. This is about the culture of every person that touches that field. That's what I want it to look like. So this is not going to be, this is how we did it in Green Bay. I have a ton of respect for everything in Green Bay. I mean, even these guys, I mean, they've been unbelievable. But this is now about the Miami Dolphins and how we're going to do things.
Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley there. Time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. One location, Toyota of Hollywood on 440 Wilmington, Hollywood, and Sheridan, ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, and we bring in from the owners' meetings out in Arizona, the originator, by the way, of Green Bay South, Omar Kelly, Miami Herald Dolphins columnist up early this morning. That was pretty good, man. I got to tell you, threw that out there, and everybody goes, I got to give it to Omar. He got a great reaction.
I wasn't seeking a reaction from the question. In fact, I asked it to Matt LaFleur, and he says, I call it Green Bay South too. And what they're doing, they every time they speak, they talk about Green Bay. They have it brought up, they have it in their conversations and what they do, and talk about Ron Wolf. And so, and interestingly enough, this isn't the first time I'm introduced to the Green Bay way, because Bill Parcells used it a lot. Him and Ron Wolf were very close, and everything that Green Bay did, Bill Parcells did. That they worked off the same blueprint. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, especially with what's going on here and with the 11 draft picks, which is clearly going to, build this team's foundation.
Yeah, no question about that. We were just talking about that. I'm glad you said that. So, boy, I'll tell you what, you guys, I don't know what you guys asked. I didn't hear the question, but Jeff Hafley hit that. There ain't no being late, and everybody's going to understand if we're going to be talking about what we expect from him. But he must have mentioned that not late thing about 5 or 6 times. Somebody asked him directly that question because he didn't make any reference to past years, but he doesn't believe in that, obviously.
I think it was about setting a standard for what his expectations are. We've heard him talk about how he's going to approach things a couple of times now, and it's about laying a foundation of what the expectations are, building a physical team. The interesting part about, coincidentally enough, I'm doing a column on what is the Green Bay way.
Yeah.
It's about the people and the process primarily. If you start talking to them and making sure that you add the right people to the organization. Now, what I find interesting about that, and I say this all the time, and me and you get into it, Joe. This ain't Green Bay. South Florida is probably one of the most challenging places to hold a professional sports team or to house a professional sports team. Clearly, the Heat have figured it out and got it right. And most of that is probably people in the process. But the Dolphins haven't figured it out and haven't gotten it right. And even going back to your days, I know you guys had a ton of success, but those streets, they be calling, Joe. You know it. They call.
But I still, and you're right. You and I are always going to disagree on this topic. You get character guys. Like a lot of these guys come down here married in serious relationships. And I'm just saying, you can't say that every guy's going out to South Beach 4 nights a week.
You're right. I remember a year, Bill Parcells, they intentionally drafted all married guys. That was the Tannehill year, or something like that. They targeted
Tannehill.
Yeah, they targeted married guys. And did you know the majority of those guys got divorces in their first 2 years of being in Miami? And it was, but the Dolphins have known this has been an issue for a while. Many different regimes have tried different approaches to address it. Right now, it's at the point where Philbin felt like he couldn't have players with strong personalities. So basically, everybody with a strong personality got banished. But that's a lack of leadership. I actually talked to Dan Campbell about this at the owners' meeting, and because Dan likes alphas. Dan's attracted to alphas, and he's like, you can't win without an alpha. And I've seen so many times this organization run from alpha players, and because of how difficult they are to manage. And I personally, truly do believe that's because this organization has lacked quality leadership throughout the years.
All right. So that's part of it. I would get into, and by the way, in the drafting of just getting stronger personality guys. And you're right. Maybe this all ties in with the guys that, that aren't don't have a lot of self-control in college, by the way. It's probably a good way to start this whole thing, whether the mental health plays into it or not.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another topic, though, because you and I are always going to disagree on this. Yeah, and I'm not saying you're 100% wrong. I'm not. But I don't think it's.
I'm not saying you're 100% wrong either, because you guys figured it. You guys figured it out. You got your era figured it out. You were running them streets, Joe.
Well, we had a little bigger problem going on in the 80s when I got here than just going out. We had that powder where guys that wasn't just going out till 2 or 3 in the morning end up being 3 or 4 in the afternoon the next day. Where the hell is he? We haven't seen him. God only knows where he was. Chop Robinson, I thought, was an interesting one. It's kind of the key guy going into year 3.
Yeah,
you guys made it real clear, like, hey, 15 games, 4 sacks, 10 solo tackles, not great against the run, so you only played him in certain situations. He did talk about gets off the ball fast. We've seen that. We know the things he can do. But he was at a point like, I'm really looking forward to coaching this guy up. They need to get something out of Chop in year 3.
I would actually disagree with you about I'm really looking forward to that. That was not said. And in fact, both times Chop was brought up, it was because I intentionally brought it up.
Oh, okay.
I'm very cognitive of who they volunteer to bring up, and who, they don't volunteer a lot of guys bringing them up. You really got to pull it out of them. And Chop is one of those guys. I really asked the question because I saw the way that Hafley was glowing. In Green Bay Packers people were there, and they were just obsessed with asking Green Bay questions. And I forget what the pass rusher's name is, the one that they traded from Dallas. And Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Okay.
And remember when we drafted Chop Robinson, it was because he had these crazy, ridiculous athletic metrics like Micah Parsons, and seemingly, our front office executives thought that he was going to be the next great pass rusher coming out of Penn State.
He had no numbers. He had no numbers at Penn State. They were as empty as they were last year. Yeah.
Yes. And so I brought that up to Hafley. Like, listen, that athletic metrics say that this guy should be Micah Parsons. Are you excited to coach him or excited to see what the potential is? And truthfully speaking, good coaching should be able to pull out more from Chop Robinson.
I agree.
And they didn't have a position coach last year. They didn't, I really didn't feel like, he had a guy who's Jalen Phillips, who's $100 million player now ahead of him. So it's not exactly like Chop had a runway to take off and didn't. He's been adequate. The problem is that we have these higher, loftier expectations. Same thing with Kenneth Grant. I found it very interesting that Sullivan mentioned Jordan Phillips had a Kendall Grant, but I would mention Jordan Phillips ahead of Kendall Grant too, because Jordan Phillips played better. It's just with these first round picks, we got to get more. We got to get more. And me and you have this discussion and argument all the time.
I agree that it's got number one's got to be, they're called your franchise picks. There's a reason Thursday is so popular in the NFL with fans and everything else. Big numbers. Thursday night, they drop off for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. If you didn't miss so much, I would tell you that it would probably be more important. But I too many times I've seen the Jordan Phillipses of the world be better than the Kenneth Grants of the world.
Well, we got two of them this year. They better be good. Fresh start. And John Eric Sullivan, his first draft, man, this is a big one. Hey, listen, I feel pretty good that they're doing things differently. Got a lot of new people. They got a lot of new scouts, a lot of new people around that he's brought in with them to help him out. I got to ask you about Malik Willis, both guys, and their comments. And again, they know him better than anybody, and they backed it up with pretty good money in the first 2 years for a guy that's been a backup. What'd you think of their comments about Malik?
Oh, I mean, that's their guy. They really believe in what he has in terms of the arm talent, in terms of the development. They're far from telling you he's a finished product. What I found very interesting, especially talking with Matt LaFleur, the biggest thing that they love about him is his mobility. In Green Bay, he can extend plays, and Hafley brought this up when talking about another quarterback who I can't remember, but it was about extending the ability to extend plays. Yeah. And that's what defensive coordinators fear the absolute most. And he explained to me why there's such a fear factor with those quarterbacks that can extend plays or can make things happen with broken plays. And it made it very evident and clear that he's going to always have an athletic quarterback. That's the model that he wants to work from because of how many challenges it presents to defensive coordinators. Yeah. So, and Sullivan basically said, I don't think you guys have that audio, but he said, hey, don't think we're not going to select a quarterback, because this is it. People might not understand it now, but this is what's in the best interest of this franchise. And they are hosting all the top upper echelon quarterbacks. And with 11 picks, you have no excuse not to draft a quarterback, because the way I present it is, if you draft a quarterback, if you just sign Malik Willis, I'm only me, Joe, Omar Kelly, columnist covering the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Herald. I'm only allowing this regime to draft to make 2 picks, 2 bites at the apple at quarterback. If Malik Willis counts as 1 bite, and then I'll give you another chance to go get a rookie, go draft one. However, I will say this: you took the Malik Willis bite now, and if you just so happen to draft a quarterback now that you like, it'll count as 1 bite, and I'll let you draft another one later. You understand what I'm saying, Joe? If you take 2 bites of the apple now, it only counts as 1 bite. And truthfully speaking, who cares how you get the elite quarterback as long as you get it? And the one thing I want to say about the Green Bay Packers organization is they've had tremendous amount of consistency and stability, but they've also had Hall of Fame quarterback transferring over to Hall of Fame quarterback, transferring over to very good quarterback who sat, watched, learned. Okay, the sit, watching, learn component of this is a very important component. So, and I know how people are excited about Quinn Ewers, and I actually like Quinn Ewers. But my biggest issue with this franchise since I started covering this team in 2007 is they are absolutely fundamentally opposed to quarterbacks competing. A quarterback has to be gifted the starting role and the leadership position, even if his teammates come out and tell the coaches we would prefer the other guy, which has happened on multiple occasions here. So why continue to have that timid mentality? You have the ability to go draft another quarterback, have them all compete. Maybe you end up with a Russell Wilson situation. Why wouldn't you do it now?
You think Malik Willis is going to start week 1?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Do I think he's going to be the starter week 17? I have no idea.
Oh, I don't. That's different. I just said to start this season.
Yeah.
He's in a great situation. He knows the whole thing if he gets it. By the way, and just to go on that, off that topic a little bit, I saw Matt LaFleur said how much he really liked Malik and his potential and everything. He said, but you got to give him a chance, man. You got to get some guys around him that can play. And by the way, I think they know that. I said that again this morning, that a lot of these first 7 picks need to be about putting an offensive line together and getting them some guys to throw the ball to.
Yeah, Sullivan basically said our right side of our offensive line needs to be rebuilt, and that included Austin Jackson. They are very aware that they don't have enough playmakers. They don't know what they have on the team right now. That's what OTAs is going to help them kind of understand. Like they don't know. They don't know these. They don't know Malik. They don't know Taj. They don't, and he's talked about that. He's got to get his eyes on them. They got to be able to coach them. They got to see where they are, see what the capabilities are. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if 2 receivers are added to this team, and not just that, but added to the team in the draft, and then probably at the end after the draft, we take another stab at it in free agency, because there's tons of unemployed quality receivers out there. They're just a little bit aged. But at a certain point, you need leadership on this team and in this organization. It's got
to be the right guy, not the guy you like the most, though.
Oh, stop it! We ain't got to bring him up.
Hey, everybody knows. Anybody listens to you know for 4 years he's been sitting at home, man. You're throwing to EJ. Hey, so I got to ask you one other one that's really that I thought was interesting, because I get all the time. I'm guessing you do too, with John Eric Sullivan, and I don't know if Jeff Hafley had to answer it too. And everybody goes, "Hey, man, are we in a rebuild?" I don't know how else. I know Florio said the same thing, and he said, "Well, it's false to say we aren't trying to win. We are. But it's a unique situation, as in, where a lot of our money is dead, but we're going to try to win every game." And so, everybody wants to know, because our fans are all we got a beaten up fan base and some beaten up writers like you. Your patience is run out with how they do things. So
I'm working on establishing new patience, Joe.
There you are. No, I'm with you. I'm guilty of some of this stuff myself, my man. Anyway, what'd you take out of that? Because I got fans like, so what's it going to look like this year? I said they're going to win some games, but we're not going to be the most talented team, and they could be, but lack of experience, and we need Malik to play well to really get an idea, and then we can go. There's a chance you win 4, 5, 6 games. You can feel good about it if you see a lot of young guys playing well. You agree?
They hate the word rebuild, retool, whatever our word. They do not like it. And I understand that you haven't even met with your players. This can't be the poison that you feed them. I remember the 2019 tank for Tua season. That served as a cancer in the locker room. I do firmly believe that it led to Minka wanting to get out of here. It's just he could not understand why an organization would want to intentionally be bad, and I think he's right in hindsight. I learned plenty of lessons from the Tank for Tua season that I will take some accountability for, if not full accountability for. Yeah, Tua was all my fault. I'm sorry, Dolphin fans. But he, the one thing that they both said that I think was a message that they want to get out of the fan base, and they both did issue messages to the fan base. It is that, yes, we signed a lot of cheap young players, but these guys have some talent, and more importantly, they will have opportunity. They're better players than what they've shown throughout their career, and some of these guys are first, second round picks. Yeah. And put in the right situation, give them the right motivation, give them the proper coaching, their careers can take off or be stabilized. And I could name 10 to 20 pros like that I've seen throughout the years. Where you're
gonna have a bunch of motivated dudes that have been that maybe were role players last year, but we've seen before that, and they're going to get a chance to be frontline guys, get those numbers up, and you know what that means. Mike was very open about it. Mike McDaniel, I'm here to get you guys as much money as you can make, and that's kind of pretty good motivation for a lot of guys.
Sullivan has a thing where he's going to put it in a bag and shake it up and see what comes out.
Yeah,
and that's about every position here on the roster. Like what all 12 cornerbacks, they were like, we have no idea who's going to be playing cornerback for this team.
Hey, Omar, got to ask you because we're running out of time here. They had the party last night. Did you guys?
No, they had the party 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. Was everybody there? The whole Dolphin gang there to see Tom Garfinkel and everybody there?
Saw Tom Garfinkel. I believe the Dolphins did a private dinner and then showed up at the event later. Yeah.
You on your way home today then, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm
good.
Trying to get home.
All right, Omar. Hey, man, I appreciate you spending some time, man, getting up early. You're on that East Coast time, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, buddy.
Always, Joe.
All right, Omar Kelly, Miami Herald Dolphins columnist with us. We're super late. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment.
WQAM broadcasting 15 Minutes of Heat is sponsored by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com.
Hey, welcome back. And speaking of the old Miami Heat, which personality is going to show up tonight as they're going to face one of the best stories in basketball right now, and that is the Boston Celtics. 50 wins on the season. I believe they're in the number 2 spot behind only Detroit in the East right now. 6 games left. And honestly, if they get going and the way it looks, they could be in that 7 spot. If they are, they're going to face the Celtics in the first round. If they get, they're going to be in the play-in for sure. And they're looking like a play-in team. They're actually playing up and down like a play-in team. That they would face either Detroit or would face the Boston Celtics. So this game tonight, we'll see what happens. Tatum's back, and Brown will play. Tatum rested in the last game against the Atlanta Hawks, who, by the way, beat them. But it was a rest night for him, so he's back in the lineup tonight. And the Heat need it, man. 6 left, 40-36. You know, they need as many of these games. I know that 2 of the games are with Washington, who is trying desperately to lose games right now. And then the Marlins got a chance to take 2 out of 3 today with a 1:10 start. I have tomorrow off and then off to New York to take on the Yankees Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then they'll be back for more baseball games. But today's a 1:10 start. If you want to head out there, and they got a whole bunch of great things we'll be telling you about with for that game coming up. Cheap tickets for you to go out if you want to catch a little lunchtime baseball with the Marlins today, who, by the way, were fun to watch last night, man. They were down 2-0, and they got after it. Griffin Conine gets his first home run of the season. Hicks has just been on fire, 8 RBI, and Casey, their rookie. We're talking about the Canadian team guys right now. Each with 2 RBIs last night. He continues to come up with big hits. And then on top of that, that damn bullpen is crazy. The Marlins pitching staff had 13 strikeouts last night. You start talking about damn near half the game is strikeouts, and the bullpen was just lights out again last night. So really off to a nice start. For the bullpen, setup guys, closers, the whole gang really pitching well right now for them. We've got a lot of other stuff to get to here. I got to get to this real quickly, man. And Omar and I, we just have basic fundamental disagreements about the same team that we both cover. And he covers it up close, and I get it. And I just, first of all, I want to make it clear that I don't think last year's problem was our guys went out too much and partied. So I think our biggest problem is we don't have enough talent. I think that's the biggest problem. Not that our I think they have some guys, and you could probably guess the guys that go out. They're the guys that a lot of them go out because they're struggling and stuff, but they just don't have a lot of bad guys. I was looking at the roster. Every time he says this, I look at the roster, I see the guys, I sit with them on the plane, and I go, I just don't hear it. I used to hear it now. We had some guys, without saying names, who were like, hey, I'll never forget coming home maybe 8-9 years ago, maybe even longer. Channing's probably been through this too. I'm for sure his guys did. And because they openly would get on guys like, dude, you got alcohol in your breath. Come on, bro. Come on, man. You were out all night. Come on. And but we had a guy who would say, hey, how many guys going to strip club? We're going. When we got home at a decent time from road trips, as in a 9:30, 10 o'clock, to go over there for a couple hours, and they'd have a group of guys that would go. Now I got to tell you, man, you know, guys are going to go out. Nobody's going to stay home 7 days a week and on their extra day off when they get one, or they get the bye week. Like, guys just aren't going to sit home. They're not. But we got a lot. That team last year was a pretty mature team. I went through it from fullback To guys like Jalen Waddle, tight end room, offensive lineman, that's a pretty mature group. Defensive line, pretty mature group led by Zach Sealer. Linebackers, got a lot of Christian guys, man. A lot of Christian guys on the team now. I just don't buy, because Omar paints this picture, and I don't think it's fair. And look at, man, I watch. I'm not sitting back there with blinders on after doing it myself. I don't believe, like, every time they lose, hey, well, guys are out partying. How the hell are they going to win? I mean, they're in these clubs, and no, man. It's just, I think guys are a lot more mature. Their awareness of social media attacking them, I think, and guys are more about their money. I think guys do a better job with their money. We still got F-ups. Yeah. We still got a bunch of F-ups. Yeah. Hell of a lot better than it was, though, man. So I don't buy that. So when we're talking about we're looking for problems why we're losing games. We lose games because we're just not very good teams. We lose games because we're not very good. Like, we don't have enough talent or at certain positions. And honestly, we have a quarterback situation. You really want to break it down. Anyway, just wanted to get that in here. We've got to go to break here. Running late from Omar's interview. Appreciate him being on with us. We're going to have a lot more coming up. Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst. They've got a big day, pro day for Fernando Mendoza. The Indiana quarterback from Columbus High School's pro day is today. NFL Network coverage. And he is expected to still be the first overall pick. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. Got a lot of stuff going on this morning, so stay with us. We'll be back. But first, I do want to tell you about somebody that is really, I love talking to her about her business. President of Chill Zone Air Conditioning, Melissa De Verona. She's fantastic. Yes, she is the owner. She's the president. She's been doing this a long time. And when the calls come in, she takes them. I want to start with that. Listen, the air conditioning industry gets a bad rap. They've done it to themselves and not being on time. How many times have somebody you waited all day, they don't show up? Number two, they come and tell you you need a new air conditioning unit. Somebody else comes out and says, no, we can fix this. I don't know why they said that to you. How many times have you just not happy with the service you're getting, huh? And it's a big problem. It gets a sleazy reputation. I get it, man. But I got to tell you, when you deal with the president of the company, who's had a lot of her people with her for a long, long time in all those trucks, they've got great experience. They cover all of South Florida, whether you need a new air conditioning unit installed, whether you need something clean, whether you need service on your air conditioning unit, duct cleaning, whatever it might be, they do it all for you at Chill Zone Air Conditioning. I want you to go to chillzoneac.com. Stay chill with Chill Zone Air Conditioning. Call the president. Talk to her yourself, Melissa. She's ready. You can call 786-378-2778. Any problem you have, how about that? How often you get to deal with the president of the company, and she sends crews out, and you're dealing with her directly. I'm telling you, it's a good way to go. Tell her you heard it here on 104.3 WQAM. That's chillzoneac.com. Stay chill with Chill Zone Air Conditioning. They're going to make a difference.
If you leave, you know what you'll miss.
3rd Street has a
Further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, how you doing this morning, brother?
Good,
And
good.
what do you got for us?
First off, you asked me during the break here. We do have Guns N' Roses tickets to give away. You remember how we did this yesterday, right?
I do.
Okay.
I didn't know that 40 friggin' guys were going to ask about going out with Julie.
She was fired up after the show. She was pretty.
She looked good yesterday too. She did. She looked good.
I
Besides
on that, but she was pretty.
I know you don't want to
about
say
it.
she looked good because that's not your thing. But
No, but I think it's more weird if I do it. But
why is it when I go around, I go, man, she looks good today, doesn't she? And you go, oh, Joe, why do you always do that?
because you're the nice old guy. I don't know.
The
You're
other
the
thing
harmless
is,
old guy.
no, but there's
No.
one thing more important than how she looks. That she makes really good desserts and
Oh.
brings them in,
I don't know
and
what
you
you're
eat
going
them
for.
quickly.
They were good.
All right.
I did inhale.
Then
that
we
thing
got
yesterday.
anyway. We ended up maybe if somebody took her out on that date, she'd bring some of those.
You think she'd be in a better mood? Do more baking. Is that what you're saying?
Bake, honey.
All right.
Go ahead.
Try to segue into this. Anyway, we'll have those tickets to give away.
Yeah,
JJ
don't get
Redick.
all weird. Don't worry. We're not getting in trouble. I didn't
J-
say anything like I want to sleep with her. We're
All
fine.
right. JJ Redick, just a little from him, Joe. The Lakers are playing very good ball
Yes,
right
they
now.
are.
Luke had like 600
Whoa,
points in the
Luka,
month.
man.
Yeah, that trade not looking so good from Dallas.
He
Mark
got
Cuban
in
coming
the
out
zone.
saying he shouldn't have sold the team to that old lady. A lot of stuff going on here, but
40-point
here's
game.
JJ Redick for you.
JJ, pretty impressive and efficient second quarter there on offense, especially. What did you see from your team get rolling there?
The ball stopped rattling in and out.
That helps usually in basketball.
When there's 5 of those shots in a quarter, it's a little odd.
All right, for sure. Second half.
What was that movie? I think it took place with the Washington Huskies or something. No, maybe that's a different movie. There's a basketball movie about that where they put a little electronic chip in the ball, and every time I got near the rim, they would make it rattle off.
I wish I knew, and I totally believe you. I totally believe you.
Zone was good for us in the second quarter. We slowed them down, held them to whatever 18 points in the second quarter. Zone was good for us.
Thank you, JJ. Billy, let's get on that.
Wow.
I thought that was funny, but we're in an age of the conspiracy.
All I know is JJ, well, I'll tell you what, jumping in for your first job to be the Lakers head coach and the relationship. And of course, he's doing that podcast before that with you know who, LeBron. And he's done a pretty good job.
Yes.
They're playing great, and they got it figured out, man. Everybody's role is pretty clear now. LeBron's no longer the big dog on that team. That belongs to that scoring machine. He is just on fire.
Assuming the Heat are not going to make some sort of finals run here, who are you rooting for to go all the way here? You want to see LeBron go out on top? You see the Thunder repeat? What are you looking at here?
I like the Thunder story. Yeah. You know why? Because small markets,
It is
man.
a small market.
Everybody, OKC can never win. Even when they draft well, they'll never stay.
Yeah.
They're staying right now together.
Yep. Good market for basketball nonetheless. So
By the way, the other one, San Antonio, is not bad either for
Mhm.
supposed to be such a crappy little market.
All right. We touched on this very briefly earlier, Joe, but this was crazy. Shohei Ohtani, 6 scoreless innings, first start of the season pitching.
He didn't hit a home run last night or something too, did he?
No, but this is still, I mean, pretty insane that this guy's doing this.
So that's his thing now. I guess this year he said, I'm tired of winning MVPs, so we're going to win the World Series no matter what because we're loaded. But I want the Cy Young. That'd be crazy. Let me tell you, so he ends up with like 220 strikeouts and wins 18, 19 games. I'm going to drop the mic on his ass and put him up there. He's going to start jumping way up that ladder as far as greatness in Major League Baseball history.
Yeah.
I'll be with you on that one.
All right, Joe. I thought this was funny too. As Jim Nantz gets set to broadcast the Masters, he was doing an interview here, and somebody asked him who he likes, who he's been watching or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said if he had to pick one guy, Scheffler would be the guy, and probably right behind him would be Bryson. he said, I have to confess, I have not seen Bryson hit a single shot this year. I have not seen him. So for me to say what his form looks like, all I can go off is the YouTube videos I've watched with my son. Now, he's a part of that.
Yeah, he's been jabbing him pretty good.
That other thing, the tour,
he's
which
a PGA
I didn't realize
guy,
was still going on. I thought they had merged back. Wasn't that the thing? They were supposed to merge back because it was so unsuccessful?
I don't know where the live thing is either, but I know those guys are making a ton of money. Is it DeChambeau that's dominating right now, or maybe it's Rahm?
No idea.
But somebody's making all the friggin' money. They're still making a ton of money, and, that 3 days in shorts, man.
Well,
3 days of work instead of 4. Anyway, go ahead.
This time next week, we'll be getting set for the Masters, by the way.
And by the way, the Doral has changed over. I had to think of the name of it, Trump Doral.
Mm-hmm.
The Doral is no longer live. It's going to have a PGA event there coming up. Anyway.
Well, Tiger didn't rule himself out for the Masters yet. He just said he's stepping away.
I think
possibly steps back in next week.
I think the Masters sent out something that said he's sent out. Listen, everybody's saying and wishing him the best. Everybody, the Masters, where he's obviously been a big, big part of the history of and the tradition of the Masters. But everybody's wishing him the best, man. Whatever it is, pain management, sleeping disorder, whatever addiction problems he may be having. And I'm guessing it's pain. The guy's had more operations than any football player I've ever known.
Mm-hmm. All right, Joe, and our final one here. We got the moon launch coming up on Wednesday. So this is today. This is a big deal here. 6:24 p.m. You can watch this thing. They're going to stream it on every network basically, and you can watch the shuttle go. Apparently, you can see it from all over Florida. So they have a map here. You can get your binoculars and go watch from your backyard,
cool.
I guess.
Yeah, I've never done that.
I don't know what it'll look like from here, but but that's big, man. We're going to the moon.
You like that? You've always been big on that thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good advancement for humankind. I don't know, isn't it?
Gotta find out
we're all going back.
Where all the other people are living in.
Mars is next, I guess, right?
See?
Yeah. That's exciting.
Find some new places.
It's progress.
New places to go.
You want to give away those tickets?
Let's do it before we get to Joe Z. We haven't had Joe Z on for a while. Voice of the Miami Hurricanes. He's been out at spring football. We'll get you caught up on that. By the way, it is still the weirdest thing to find out. I was listening to all the sound from yesterday with the Miami Hurricanes. I just want to hit you with this real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize a whole bunch of those guys that are on the freshman class that should be seniors in high school graduated in time to actually practice during the playoff games last year. The whole group were in. I did not know that either. Anyway, kind of strange. Hey, I'm going to graduate early so I can go practice with the champions if they win it all. Hell, these guys might have got a ring. Think about that. That's kind of crazy, Woody. Anyway.
All right, so the lines are lighting up already. We haven't even given the cue to call.
Everybody wants to go, man. That was a good show in the day.
All right, so we're going to do this. It is 51 right now. We'll go at 54. If you could please call at 7:54 so we can give everyone a fair shot here. And we'll go caller number 5, 305-567-0560. I'm going to give everyone a shot because some people have a longer delay than others that are listening.
David, we got Thea, Brandy, Day. Might be Kelly. Sorry, Kelly. Kelly Day. Day Kelly. Any day, Kelly. Yeah, they're all lit up, man. So anyway, we'll have that for you coming up here before we get to Joe Z, and we'll let you know who the winner is. But first, I do want to take a moment this morning to tell you about Chev, the owner and CEO of Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. He wanted to make it clear to me. He said, Joe, Impact Windows and Hurricane Category 5 rated, man. You never know when we're going to get hit. That's his big thing. You never know when South Florida is going to get hit. We've been lucky the last couple years, but you're playing with fire if you haven't had it done. And I want to let you know the work they do. They'll withstand 140-mile-an-hour winds, which is important. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing provides 100% financing, 0 down. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, no interest, no payments for 1 year. So you need roofing materials. They do it all. Tile, shingle, metal flat. I'm telling you, you need a roof replacement. You need the repairs. They do it 24/7. They literally cover everything. Impact windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. Don't wait for the next storm, man. They do it all for you. Really, once you sign up and say, hey, Loctite, you're let's go. Let's get it done. They'll get all the permits done, the HOA approval, so you don't have to worry about anything. It really is a true turnkey service. Loctite Impact is a licensed and insured contractor ready to help you with great work that they're doing right now. All you have to do, don't wait for the next storm. Let's get started today. They got a great staff ready to take your call at 954-500-LOCK, or just check them out, LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com, or you can call with that great staff. They'll answer all your questions, covering all of South Florida, 954-500-LOCK.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the books with
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less than your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia, DoralKia.com. Starting with the Panthers, who crushed the Senators 6-3. Next up, the Cats will host the Bruins tomorrow night. Over to the Heat, will welcome in the Boston Celtics. Tonight, tip-off is at 7:30 from the Kaseya Center. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. And in baseball, the Marlins beat the White Sox 9-2. The teams will meet for the rubber match this afternoon with the first pitch at 1:10 from Lone Depot Park. And the game can be heard on 560 AM. And the Hurricanes crushed Florida Gulf Coast 12-4. Next up, Miami hosts Virginia Tech for a 3-game series beginning on Friday. The Joe Rose Show continues now. Yeah, Joe, we're going to head back out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. Always fun. I see him walking over in Davie from time to time. The voice of the Miami Hurricanes, Joe Z, joins us this morning. And, Joe, listen, man, I want to let you know that I'm always happy when I see announcers and their teams playing well. 13 wins in football, playing the national championship game, 26 wins with a brand new basketball coach into the tournament, get a win. What a nice start for you, huh?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. Football was a lot of fun. Basketball was, a couple years ago, you go to the Final Four, and Woody was with me, and you have this exhilaration. Yeah. And then the last 2 years after that, you kind of went down in the valley. And this year, it was just for basketball, just even all the way across. Just, not a lot of highs, not a lot of lows. Beat the teams you were supposed to beat. Really didn't lose anybody that you weren't supposed to lose to. No terrible losses. And then football, what an amazing journey that was. I'm still reliving that one every single day. That was hard for to go through it, not for a broadcaster, but to watch the players and the organization, to see what it takes to win a championship and to get that close was both exhilarating and excruciating.
I got to tell you, Joe, it was that month of football was from even going back to the Pittsburgh game and then waiting to see in the debate about whether we would get in or Notre Dame, one or the other, and you get in. And then they go out, and a lot of people, well, I don't know if they should have been in. They had a bad loss in there, and then they beat some really good teams in Ohio State and Texas A&M. And then, by the way, they were the two best teams, no question about it, because they played Indiana in that second half, actually outplayed them. And so it was just, I'm with you. It was so much fun to go back on. But, hey, let's talk about Canes football, spring football. I went out there the one day, and I came away with, they're really friggin' talented, although I do know they got some positions that have to be filled in. 4 new starters on that offensive line. Are you concerned with that, or is there just so much talent you can just and a really good offensive line coach, you're not worried about it?
I would say I am concerned not because of lack of talent or coaching or any of those things. They're in great hands with Coach Mirabal and Shannon Dawson. Talking with him yesterday, he feels good about it. My concern would be the guys that left were playing at such an elite level.
Oh, man.
And now you have players coming in. Cantwell could start at left tackle. He's never played a college game. And, you're replacing Markel Bell on one side and Maui Noah on the other side. I mean, Maui Noah was great right from this first snap as a freshman. I don't think Cantwell is where Maui Noah was as a freshman. Clearly, he's not where he was when Maui Noah played his last game. Their strategy at center, I talked with Don about this yesterday. Their strategy at center the last couple of years was brilliant. It was, we're going to go to the portal and get a center because that's the guy that touches the ball in every play.
Right.
We don't have somebody that can handle that responsibility. Now they think they do in Rodriguez, but he hasn't really played since the Gator game of 2 years ago, right? And he wasn't the center in that game. I watched him yesterday. He's big and he's strong, and he brings a great presence. But I guess what I'm saying is the players that left were playing at the best level that they played at in their entire careers. And now these new guys have to come in and quickly get up to speed, and they're not going to get to that same level, but they got a ways to go.
Boy, it's funny you were talking about all those guys, and I was thinking as that offensive line ended up just being so dominant, especially in those playoff games against Ohio State. Those last drives they're able to put together. The other position, of course, that we kind of called it the heart and soul of the team was those two pass rushers on the outside. But it's funny, Joe. It's just me, but you got Blunt and Lightfoot that got a lot of playing time. You go out in the transfer portal. I haven't seen him play that much. Damon Wilson, Hayden Lowe's coming back. I feel pretty good about that position. I know they don't have the experience, and I'm not saying they're first-round picks, but, boy, I feel like I saw enough that those guys are – and Jason Taylor will get them in the right mental approach to really be good players.
Yesterday I went right to Jason Taylor when practice was over. Went to him and Shannon Dawson. And so their stories line up. And Shannon Dawson said, well, I can tell you this, we can still rush the passer. And, we're early in spring, so we can still rush the passer. And I go over to Jason Taylor, and he says, yeah, we can still rush the passer. So I think they feel pretty good about that. Jason loves Lightfoot. He thinks he's going to be one of the best in the country at defensive end. And, again, at the end of the season, Lightfoot was a terror. I mean, you watch that Indiana game, he picks up one of their offensive linemen and just tosses them like a rag doll. He did the same in Ohio State, Ole Miss games. He was a factor in every game down the stretch. So I think he's ready to go. And I think he'll pick up. Maybe, again, you got Mesdor and Bain who were playing at these incredible levels. Can Lightfoot and the new guy get to that level? And Blunt, I don't know, but Lightfoot's going to be hard to block. But I also think inside, I think Justin Scott played really well for them at the end of last season, played like a 5-star player. And Moten was really good. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't see that coming. I thought, I don't know if Moten's going to make it, but he was really good. So I saw the new kid from Ohio State. I think he'll probably be in behind Moten and Scott at defensive tackle. So I think their defensive line is going to be good. I think they'll be solid there.
All right, let's talk about number one position. Yeah, I very seldom do that. It's usually the first thing we always talk about is quarterback. Darian Mensah, boy, the day I was out there, he was dropping them beautiful deep passes, and obviously coming from a great year with Duke. What's your take? And a lot thicker guy than I thought. He's a physical-looking guy there.
It's funny that you say that. I would agree with that. And then I was also flashing to the kid behind him, the freshman Coleman, who's not quite as big. No. If I was that kid, I would go, look, I'm playing the long game. He's got an arm. He's got a rocket for an arm.
Quick release.
He's got to get bigger. I mean, he's got kind of like stick legs, but my eyes flashed over to him. But to answer your question, Mensah is really accurate. That's where it starts with me. His throws are right on the money. He threw a deep ball yesterday into the left corner of the end zone and just put it right where it had to be, like a 60-yard pass that just dropped right in there beautifully. So got great touch, great feel for the receivers, was hooking up with the kid, with his teammate from Duke, Barkate. But those new wide receivers, of course, you got Tony out there, but Wingo and the other kid coming in from South Carolina, they can fly. They've got some talent at wide receiver.
Here, didn't they? They got a guy. That was the one thing missing last year. That everybody's kind of quietly saying we needed more speed at wide receiver, and they went out and got it. But they throw a ton of takeoffs, and they want to get that passing game going for sure. So I think, by the way, there's so many different things I wanted to talk to you. I haven't talked to you for a while. Malachi Toney is clearly, when I was there day one, like, oh, this is Malachi Toney's team. He had him out first. He's running them out. He got out early, had the receivers together. They were going over assignments, and I was like, 18-year-old leader of the friggin' team. I never thought I'd see that at the University of Miami, and it's pretty clear to everybody.
Well, he's contagious. His enthusiasm, his excitement, his love for football. You know, how many times have you heard a coach say, well, when we evaluate a player, the first thing we want to know is, does he love football? And some people will look at that and go, well, wait, of course they love football. What's that mean? Love football. Not everybody loves football, but Malachi Tony loves football. And if you watch Malachi in practice and you watch his habits, and I watch, what I like to do, Joe, is when practice is over, I like to stay out on the field to see who else stays out on the field. And so I can become a little spy. And Malachi is always on the field. Last year, it was CJ Daniels and Marion helping him. Now this year is the other way around. So I think that's really exciting. I like to tell my Malachi Tony story of the last month, which is during the basketball season, our dear friend Katie Meyer had a fundraiser on campus. So she asked me if I would participate in her fundraiser, which was to make 10 free throws. And I said, sure, I'll go out. They'll take me, I don't know how many shots, but I'll go make 10 eventually, maybe by the time the sun goes down. and you're in the middle of campus and people are watching. The guy in front of me goes 10 for 10. I said, is there anything you can't do? And it was Malachi Tony. 10 for 10.
He made all 10.
He made all 10. He stepped up. He laughed. He made 10 in a row. Then he walked away.
Yeah.
So, but what you can't be also, I did want to point out what I was talking to Shannon Dawson yesterday, and I do think this is interesting. They have the new quarterback, got the new offensive line, but what they don't have that's new is a running back room that's really good. Except they do have Maury that came in, and I watched him. He's a real deal also. Fletcher, Fletcher's right there with Tony and his love for football, and I just marvel at Mark Fletcher's personality and how infectious that is, and the demands that he has for the guys around him.
Yeah.
And just talking to him after practice, you walk away from Mark Fletcher and you go, man, that kid,
right?
You just root for him. And what he did in the playoffs last year, I said to Don, you realize he ran for over 500 yards in the playoffs? He was unstoppable. And I think he's going to pick up right where he left off. And I think Shannon Dawson's mindset is we got to run the ball. Let's make this pretty simple here. We got great running backs. We're going to feed them the football. And that's where they're going to start, I think, with the identity of their offense.
Not bad for two guys we just spent about 5 minutes talking about from American Heritage Plantation up there in Broward County, man. So Mike Smith and you guys up there, I'm sure they're pretty proud guys there.
Yeah, keep sending them.
Good for business. Yeah, keep sending them our way, would you? You got some more on the way. We'd really appreciate it. Hey, Joe, you know what's crazy? And we got a zillion positions that we could talk about. I didn't realize. I mean, it's a different world in college football now. I didn't know, and if you knew this, I wasn't listening. I apologize. That their whole recruiting class, most of them were here during the playoff run and actually practiced with the team on scout team to get a feel for it. And we're going against these guys before spring football. I thought spring was the first time. Now I find out they were all here. I did not know that.
31 of the 32 or 30 of the 30. They were on the airplane. Yeah, they took up a lot of space on the airplane, on our plane. So. It's like, hey, who are these guys?
Yeah, here's our recruiting class. They're already in. Well, nobody goes to their junior prom and senior ball anymore, man. What the hell happened?
It did, it was a crash course for those players, and I did see Cantwell and these other guys, and I do think at that time of the year, it was a good help, a little bit of a help. First of all, they had to get up to speed on what was going on, but I do think anytime you can expose young players to that situation, that this is not an entitlement. I always felt that one of the demises of the University of Miami was after a lot of these great players left, and all the guys have been chirping for years and years, that when that other wave came in, they thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to put on Ed Reed's jersey. I'm going to play just like him. I'm going to put on John Taylor's jersey. I'm going to be just like him. I'm going to be just like Andre Johnson because I'm a Hurricane. Well, these guys found out it doesn't work that way.
No.
They got exposed to high-level coaching. They got exposed to, this wasn't bowl game fun. These playoff practices. This was serious business. I mean, every rep in practice was, life and death, as was every play in the game. So they were tossed into a very tense situation. And I think that was good for them to understand that, hey, you got to make a big jump from high school into where we are and what our demands are and
Right.
what we're playing for. This isn't, backyard football, whatever. We are playing for the ultimate prize, and we all have to sacrifice for this ultimate prize. This is blood and guts right now. So they had a good lesson in that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And by the way, I love the competition thing, and it is true. So Jackson Cantwell, he's one of the top recruits they've ever had to get a guy that was that highly recruited at the top of the 5-star chain there. Jackson Cantwell, they're saying it's been slow development. Obviously, he did not play against guys like this in high school. And they didn't have guys in his high school, wherever it was in Missouri, that he played. And now he's playing against, 2 guys who were first-round picks, and now they got more guys that have been playing a lot of college football. I still expect him to start, don't you, Joe, when it's all said and done at left or right tackle?
I always go back to every time a new offensive lineman come in. So I'll date myself, and this one with Richmond Webb and Keith Sims, right? When Coach Shula just put him right out there.
Day one.
Left tackle, left guard, right? And I feel the same thing. They did that with Maui Noah, put him out there, and it was his job for 3 years. And I think the same with Cantwell, unless there's a complete meltdown along the way. He's going to be fed an awful lot, but his sheer size and strength and his ability to dominate, I think he probably has to understand that because of his size, the amount of space he takes up, if he is applying his proper technique as he's getting coached from Mirabal, then he's got a chance on every play to dominate the other guy, which is a pretty rare feeling to have, right?
Boy, they'd like to get that done for sure. Hey, always one guy, and I want you to give me one. I want to give you the one guy that I'm like, okay, year 2, man, you got so much talent. I hope the brain catches, or the body and the brain finally connect, and he plays at the level of talent that he has. His name is Josh Moore, the big 6'4" receiver. He's got stupid, ridiculous talent that you can't teach that size, and to be able to run and catch a ball like that, that's my guy. Do you have one of those guys for you that if he puts it together is going to make a splash this year?
Well, I love your choice of Moore because I love big receivers. I just think you can't defend them. And in college football, when you have a receiver that is that size, it puts an awful lot of pressure on most defenses. You're not going to run in to a lot of teams that have guys that can match up. Now, you're going to run into a couple games where the other team has equal talent, but most of the time when you have somebody like Moore, you can't. It's impossible for the defense to find somebody to cover him consistently. So he would be on my list. He's back at practice. I thought he had an okay season last year. I thought he got better as the season went on, and they missed him in the championship game, and that would be Lofton, the tight end.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He made some great plays. I mean, the catch he made in the game that he got hurt against Ole Miss was a deep square in, and he took a hell of a shot, and we didn't see him. Haven't seen him since. Well, now we do, but they missed him in the championship game. But he was supposed to be, that Swiss Army knife lineup in the backfield, flex him out, end-line tight end, bring him in close, blocker, the whole package. And we only saw flashes of it, and probably not enough. I think he battled through some injuries and I don't know, maybe some other things. But Bauman seemed to always get more reps. But I thought Lofton was the more dangerous player, and clearly in the championship game they could have used him.
Yeah, glad he's back, by the way. That was the good news there. Hey, Josie, thank you, man. I appreciate it for coming on and spending some time. We got to do this more. Thank you.
All right, Joe, you look good. And by the way, yesterday I thought you did a good job as matchmaker.
We'll find out. I didn't know so many people want to go out with that good-looking Julie guy, man. So we'll get on that. Thanks, Joe.
All right, take care.
All right, Joe Z, voice of the Miami Hurricanes, man. Got to tell you about Baptist Health South Florida, Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, man. They have put together a sports program that is crazy. One of the top sports medicine programs in the country right here in our backyard. Oh, I got money. I'm going to go to this doctor I know in California. Don't have to. No, you can go where the pros go. Enter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins. They all trust those great doctors at Baptist Health. When you put together, and if you're going to be a top sports medicine program, You got to have the top specialist for every part of the body. The knee team, I call them the knee team. They fix everything. And I mean blown out knees. All of a sudden, a year later, and you're running at full speed, playing the sports you play professionally. I can't say their names. I'm not allowed, but you can read between the lines. They're great doctors. Shoulder, foot, and ankle, hand specialists, back specialists, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. They do it all. Hand-picked doctors to take care of all of us, too. It's not just high school, college, and professional athletes. All of us. Too competitive. You know what happens. Sooner or later, we all get injured playing the sports that you love the most. We got 3 great facilities, Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, and also 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. Those doctors are good.
Let's go. Time up. We can now prove that most of us have
boy, Joe.
Hey, there's certain things that your wife will tell you and not tell you, knowing how fired up you get and how things are going to be. But I think those kids.
Joe, I'll beat up a teenager.
Hey, I got to tell you.
I said, yeah, these little boys come around this house now. I can jump on them. I'm 260.
Well, I got to tell you another one, Channing, is in recent years, and I got to be careful because my kids live here in town. But they brought home guys, and I read between the lines, this is a hit and a quit guy. He just wants to hit it and leave. And I tell the wife, as soon as they leave, I go, this guy's bad news. This guy, and I go, look at this guy's in it. He's in it for a quick, I call it hit and run, for a quick hit and run on our daughter, man. and she doesn't like that. Anyway, hey man, let's get this other thing. Oh, I can't do an interview with Omar without him bringing out that the whole team's out partying in strip clubs and it's affecting how they're playing. I just don't buy. That's why the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. Help me out.
Joe, well, first off, I'm out having me a good morning, Joe. I got my shiners in the bag. I'm about to go fishing in a second. I just hit a scratch-off ticket for $200.
Come on.
Yeah, I hit me a scratcher. Joe, 200.
Hey, that's a good start to a day right there, brother.
That's a good start to a day. I drop the kids off at school. I give my scratch-offs, and I hear Omar always talking about how partying is the downfall of the Dolphins. Joe, talent wins.
Correct.
Period.
That's it.
Period, Joe. Talent wins. I'll go both ways. So at Florida, I'm out partying every night. You remember Gerard Warren?
I do.
Big money.
Yeah.
That played for the Browns.
Yeah.
He number 3 pick, the top 10 pick, whatever. Joe, he had a condo in Gainesville that he let me use because the football season's over. The football season's laid over top NFL and college. I had a condo, a 4-bedroom condo that I could use anytime. I could drive his Mercedes. He was like my big brother. I'm partying, having a good time, doing all that, and at the same time, I'm all SEC, All-American every year. There were guys on that team, Joe, Todd McCullough and Matt Ferrier and Earl Everett, and they're my friends. They couldn't tie my shoes to get ready for a game.
Right.
And they were Bible thumpers.
Right.
And like they go to the little pre, whatever, Saturday morning church stuff and all that, Joe. I was more talented than them.
Right.
That's what it was about.
Same thing in the 80s. But like Doug Betters and those guys were not sitting around their house 7 days a week. They were having fun. But when it was time to play, they played at a real high level. Clay, Dupe, all of them.
They went and bowled. And then I got to the league with Zach. So there was 3 gradations, and I can use Hall of Famers now to explain this. Junior Seau partied, like went out, need a driver party. Jason Taylor would go out, drink Opus One and Camus and all these expensive $1,000 bottle of wine because he was rich. And I was out with JT. JT, me and Ronnie used to hang with JT, and just like me and Ronnie were mesmerized, just being around JT and his circle.
Right.
And then Zach Thomas, he was sitting in the hyperbaric chamber, and he didn't do nothing. Zach was straight edge, just doing his thing, Joe. All those dudes would make plays because they were great players.
Right.
And that's what they did. So I played with Joey Porter, led the NFL in sacks. I was with Joey at the strip club 2 nights before he had a 3-sack game.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor, if you read his book, Over the Edge and To the Edge,
yeah,
he would wake up in a strip club Sunday morning and drive home, take a shower, and go and get 11 tackles and 2 sacks.
Yeah, no, and maybe the greatest defensive player of all time, to your point. Yeah.
I think Lawrence is the best football player ever to put a helmet on, to be honest.
That could be. The way he dominated and what you had to do to get ready to play against that dude, I saw it firsthand. He had a bunch of linebackers he was playing with. They were all good, and dude was at a different level, to your point.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, we just got to get back to get more talent. Like this wasting coaches' time telling them about what are you going to do about the whole factor of South Beach and Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and the clubs are calling you. Guys are going to go. You don't have to call them. Guys are going to go when they got night off or they want to go out in the middle of the week. But the great ones, man, they're going to be the guys that can play are going to be ready to go on Sunday.
So they're going to be ready to play. It's not just Miami. Anybody ever? You're a California guy, right?
Yeah.
Have you, L.A., Joe? Have you been out in L.A.? Because I travel a lot. L.A., Dallas, Houston, Atlanta.
Yes.
New York.
All great clubs.
They make all great times, Joe. You ever been to a strip club in Texas?
No, I haven't been to a strip club in Texas. How good are they?
We got to go, Joe. We got to go, Joe. But it's just like, so now Houston makes this run, or Atlanta goes to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. But when I heard you talking about it earlier, and you said my name, I'm listening. I'm taking the kids to school.
Yeah,
about to go get my.
I threw a little bait out, but I was thinking about you and your guys. Like, you guys have fun, but you guys were ready to play. I knew those guys were going out having fun.
Joe, in Saban's years with Vonnie Holiday and Big Truck, Keith Traylor, and Jeremiah Bell, Will Allen, we were the top 5 defense in the league.
Yes.
We were all hanging out. And then we lock in and go play football.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing, Joe, that's the thing that, like, when you talk about, Omar always brings up, yeah, he's in the club with these guys and I'm seeing them out. It gets to me because I'm like, listen, they're going to enjoy life. This dude can sit. I text Danny. There was a year, my 3rd year, Joe, so probably 2007.
Yeah.
Where I got on the Zach Thomas. I got on the Zach Thomas regiment. Zach, he actually joked about it because he ripped me off recently. He joked about it because he sold me a hyperbaric chamber for $10,000 that he only paid $6,000 for.
That's Zach Thomas at his best right there, making money,
Zach
man.
at his best. And Zach, I don't know if anybody knows Zach Thomas's family lineage, but they don't need no money. But Zach, I got it was going into the 2007 season.
Yeah.
And that was Cam Cameron, so he didn't know what he was doing, Joe. But I got Zach's dietitian, I got Zach's stretch guy, I got Zach's hyperbaric chamber. He sold it to me. I did everything all off season. I'm on isogenic shakes. I have a big box of supplement pills and taking all this vitamin D and biotin and all this stuff that Zach said to take. Joe, I was no better at football. I just didn't have fun.
Right.
Like I did it to the T.
Yeah.
Joe. I did Zach Thomas to the T.
Yeah.
I didn't have fun. I'm sitting in the house all day. I'm watching DVDs because it's before Netflix. Joe, I did not get better at football.
Yeah. Hey.
All I did was not have fun. And then the secret is that Zach was better at football than I was. That was the secret.
Right.
He was a better player than I was. And that's the thing. When they talk about the South Beach flu, why is there not a LA flu, a New York flu, a Houston flu, a Dallas flu, a Atlanta flu? Listen, you just have to be good at football. And we have lacked talent.
Correct.
And that's why we're not winning.
I just said the same thing.
That whole thing about, they're partying too much.
Yeah.
Bro, you think everybody in the league is sitting in their house, Joe? That's crazy.
No. And by the way, that's my message is we got to get better players, not worry about, it has to do with how good your players are. It has nothing to do with all of a sudden because a guy goes out on a Friday night or a Thursday night for a Sunday 1:00 game and plays crappy week after week after week and goes on the road and does the same thing. And by the way, we got more security guards in the history of mankind on the road now with these teams. So these guys they couldn't go out if they wanted now, like they used to. So anyway, hey, Channing, it's great having you, brother. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I totally agree with you. Glad to hear you're doing okay, man. That's good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm relocating Bass still by your house.
Yeah. Hey, Loaded up. I think you're making too damn much money now, brother. You don't care about those bats in my backyard anymore.
Listen, Joe, I'm gonna keep putting them in this lake in the back. I got a fish tank behind my house.
Yeah, I know you do. Like an acre. Jeez, life is good. I thought I figured it out, brother. You took it to a new level, man.
I tell him, Joe.
I'm crying right now.
I say, Joe Rose, talk. You gave me the blueprint for post-career.
Hey, whatever I tell you, you took it to a whole different level, brother. But thank you, man. I appreciate it, Channing. I'll see you soon, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir, big dog.
All right, Channing Crowder. Oh, gosh. Oh, we got to go to break here. We got a lot more stuff to get to. Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst, going to join us today. Big day for a pro day for what is expected to be the #1 pick. We'll get caught up on the NFL right after this.
WQAM broadcasting live from
It's time to head back out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. One location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, thank you. And always a special guest to have on here. We wish he lived down here full time instead of just coming down here to see family and bring his wife down on vacation. Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst. Getting ready, by the way, for a big day. NFL Network provides live coverage today of Indiana's Pro Day today, and that you know who that means. Fernando Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback, expected to go number 1 from Columbus High School in Miami. And Mark Ross joins us this morning. Mark, how you doing, bud?
Man, outstanding. Always a pleasure, as you know.
Hey, man, I appreciate you finding time. I know it's a crazy time because that league never sleeps, as you know, with pro days and combines and now just a few weeks away from the draft. Hey, speaking of Fernando Mendoza, things got stirred up pretty good by those guys at ESPN, including a former quarterback, talking about how good Ty Simpson is, and he's the best overall quarterback at everything, and he didn't have as much talent and everything else. I don't know about you, but I still expect from the Fernando Mendoza I saw playing the playoffs that he's going to be the first overall pick. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Mendoza to me is clearly the best guy. The Ty Simpson hype machine was in full effect there with his agent, man. And Dan Orlovsky, all those guys, had the same representation, and that's when you get disingenuous at this time of the year because there's nothing in the body of work. Hey, look, Ty Simpson may end up being better than Fernando Mendoza, but there's nothing at this point that you would look and say he's better than Fernando Mendoza at. So. That's the unfortunate part of this time of year where you don't know whose evaluations are truly coming from evaluation and as opposed to people just doing people favors.
Mark, it's amazing because we've heard this from Mike Florio too, that the power of these guys coming out with information that's given to them by agents or agencies that they want to get stuff out and either promoting their guys. And in some cases, when they're talking about Ty Simpson, my only problem with it is it's like when you start comparing them and Fernando Mendoza is not better than anything else, even though he's expected to be the first overall pick. And he's gone, no, he does this better and that. He keeps his eyes. He had a better team. Well, yeah, that's part of the deal. You're going to win a lot of awards when you're on a good team.
Yeah, for sure. And, to just go completely overboard in that way, if you want to say, okay, the 1 for 1 or this skill is better, but to go completely overboard in that kind of way, it kind of shows your hand.
Hey, so Mark, I got to ask you, you've been through the whole front office process and meeting with GMs and assistant GMs and this time of year is so important. I've talked to you about this, and this is where the Dolphins, one of the problems they've had in the past, we haven't done a good job on background checks. And it's one thing to see how good guys are, but also you got to find out their habits that don't show up during a game and how quick they are and all the things athletically they can do. I think background checks may be more important than ever with mental health and all the other things that guys are dealing with. What about for you?
Yeah, that was always a major part of it, and that's what our scouts were on the road all year for. Your scouts don't get enough credit this time of year. It all goes to the coaches and all this kind of stuff. But the scouts are there the whole year getting this information. And generally, you have the information on these players when so the Dolphins have that information. It's just whether you want to take the risk. So you dig in. Well, you should be digging in. We always did. So whenever we took a player with some red flags or risk, we knew that. It wasn't anything where they got in the building like, what? This guy doesn't like to work. It was known. It's just a matter of whether you can get them into your facility and your coaches and bring a winning mindset or change whatever that negative, whatever that red flag is. Now, you don't want to just keep taking guys that have these red flags. You want to have some foundation and stability to offset that. But for some teams, they are continually doing that where they kind of ignore the red flags and think, well, we can get them to improve and we're looking at the talent. Whether that's been the case with the Dolphins, I don't know, but there's something there that has not been working out.
Hey, so the other part of this, through the years I've heard this, is, man, he's really good, but he takes plays off. And sometimes, and I'm like, sometimes you watch him, you know he's going to get drafted, and other times he dominates against good guys. How do you feel about those guys? Do most teams think we can get it out of him and get him to go 100%? Because we have seen guys they get better once they get it figured out or they're around the right guys in the right room. But a lot of times they play the same way when they get to the pros. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that was always fascinating when we would have free agency meetings, 3-4 years after the fact of that player coming out, and it's generally we're the same. Generally their skill set's the same, their strengths and weaknesses are the same. There wasn't a huge variance of how we scouted them coming out of coming out of college to when they became free agents. It's just whether they've been able to play with those strengths and overcome the weaknesses. But generally, guys that don't have a motor, don't play hard, don't have toughness, that doesn't change. You don't instill toughness into somebody. You don't instill a motor into someone, and those that have it, they keep that. That's just something you really can't teach. Even from a kid, when you watch younger guys, they coming up like, man, look at this young guy going. And generally you can't instill those sort of traits into a player. So it's kind of fool's gold to say we're going to get this guy that doesn't play hard to start playing hard.
Hey, Mark, as you know, the Dolphins went all in on a guy with the Green Bay Packers with Hafley and John Eric Sullivan. They brought in their backup quarterback and really liked what they'd seen from him for 2 years with Green Bay. He's now the man. I mean, he got now the man money to come in here. He's going to be the starter here for this team as they're cleaning out. You've seen all the dead money that they've had to clean up and clean it up. It's like 60% of the salary cap so far. What are your thoughts on him and taking a chance? Everybody's looking for the next quarterback, franchise quarterback. What were your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm commendable for what Malik has done in his career to get better and get to this point. No one thought a year ago he'd be making that. The big guy on free agency getting that money. And, I always had reservations about him coming out of college, which kind of bore itself in Tennessee there. It's like, but even with Green Bay, you're rolling the dice on a very, very, very limited play time and start time. And so you're really just hoping, that little bit of exposure, the positives that he had, he'll continue to do that and have more consistency. Now, as you said, it was a good, nice, fun little story before. Now, all right, man, you're getting all this money. This fun little story is gone with. He goes out there game one and goes 10 for 20 and throws an interception. That's a whole different mindset of where people are looking and saying, oh, man, what do we do here? And then it doesn't help the fact that when as we've seen, you're looking at this team and there's not a whole lot talking about talent around you. There's not a whole lot around him. So, you and Achane just go do everything, go every play, just go run around and go make something happen. It might be a tough way for him to get acclimated to being the guy.
Hey, we got two quarterbacks. It's been quiet because we talk so much about the young guys now, but we got two quarterbacks still out there. It is weird to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second straight year waiting on Aaron Rodgers, and Kirk Cousins is sitting out there, and I'm guessing he's kind of waiting on Aaron Rodgers too, it looks like. What happens here, and what are your take on Aaron Rodgers and the fact that it looked like Steelers went all in on him again this year?
Yeah, the Steelers just kind of, to me, have lost their way, and I've been saying this for a while about them. And when your strategy after what you saw, what you went through with him last year, they made the playoffs, but in the worst division, and they barely made it with the missed field goal there. And when you look at all his metrics, you watched him play very, very limited offense, kind of at the bottom of the league and everything, and to be around that. And then the implosion against the Texans, a legit defense he finally played in the playoffs. And to look at all that as an organization and say, yep, we want to run that back, it's just baffling to me. I mean, this is really just, wow. And in a vacuum, sure, but then you're looking at the AFC and all those other teams that you have to go through, and to think that this is the path is really, I just don't understand it. So it seems that they are holding out for him, and next year, hopefully we're not talking about this guy
again,
trying to come back one more time again, because I can't, no one gets better, and I don't think we'll see anything better than what we saw last year or the last couple of years with him.
Hey, Mark, you got to break this down for me. I've heard this just recently again. So these guys finish their season, they have great years, but now it's a combine, then it's getting ready for pro day. How do you break it down when you watch tapes, when they play against good players, like for the Canes pass rushers, how they played in the playoffs? Now they didn't test as well or do as much. How important is a pro day and a combine versus how much you put into how they play on Saturdays against top competition?
Yeah, it's amazing. Again, the workouts are determining who are good players. And, that's really all you're talking about this time of year is who worked out great. The combine, who worked out?
Right.
What about the football stuff? Let's get back to that, but it gets lost. There's such a long period of time between when they last played their game and then the actual draft where nothing football related happens. It's workout related and combine and private workouts and all of that and interviews. All of that takes center stage, and that's easy to talk about because those are hardcore numbers that it's easier to say, well, he ran a 4.5 and this guy ran a 4.4. He's faster. Well, not on the tape. It's harder to talk about it on the tape where, the concrete numbers, people are more comfortable with that. And that's why there's so many mistakes. The good teams just use this time period to massage their boards, get some finality on players, whether it's good or bad, and keep 95% of what they saw on the film as the main reason why they're going to take a player or value a player, as opposed to none of this stuff that has proven doesn't correlate to being good NFL. That's the thing there, Joe. Every year, like, this doesn't correlate at all, but we still use it. They still go through the drill there, and it still gets talked about.
That's what Jason Taylor literally just said. Yesterday, he was asked about his two defensive ends, pass rushers on the outside, and he said, I told him to get ready for the next football season. I'm not worried about those workouts. They can see what you did on pro day and how you work and do background checks and stuff like that. I thought it was interesting. The other one that's always amazing to me since I played till now, the 40-yard dash is still so sexy. Is it still important to the NFL? When a guy, like we talk about, all the guys ran under 4.39. It was a zillion guys this year that ran fast.
Yeah, it's really just becoming a track meet. I joke about it every year at the conference. It's just a track meet now. It's not a test of football player speed. It's just a track meet. But NFL teams still use it, and they still value it. And again, the better ones stay away from using that to determine good players. But again, not having correlation. Carnell Tate from Ohio State got crushed at the combine because he ran that. But then he didn't ran super fast and all those other guys did. But then you go look at the best receivers in the NFL, and they all ran that same thing he did. So instead of teams saying, well, wait a minute, this is the standard. This is amazing. This is what we want. They're looking for the guy that ran 4.3 that doesn't, none of those guys pan out. It's just hilarious that how that happened.
I know you've been doing a lot of these draft shows on NFL Network because I see you guys all on. It's great in the afternoon to watch. Hey, I got to ask you, the Dolphins are looking at everything and trying to get a zillion picks here in the first 3 rounds like they have. Can you just tell me some of the deepest positions as you guys have been together and talking about on NFL Network? Give me a couple positions you like.
Yeah. Just for me, the evaluation, I think it's a real good. The edge class is really good, and there's a mix of guys. You mentioned the 2 Miami guys, and Bailey's completely different. Zion Young, and there's some interesting guys there, and on the offensive side, it's a good O-line group. That's a solid O-line group as tackles and guards together, where you can find more so on the guard side, some kind of instant starters. On the tackle side, a couple instant starters, and then some project guys that you have to work with. But overall, that O-line and the edge and corner group are really good.
Mark, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And you take care of yourself, and I hope I get to talk to you here in the next few weeks. Thanks.
Of course, anytime.
All right, Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst. And don't forget, NFL Network provides live coverage of Indiana's Pro Day today at 1 o'clock. You'll be able to watch Fernando Mendoza is going to do his workout. And with all those receivers, he'll be going to his guys and obviously see how he does. I don't think it's going to change anything. I expect he's going to have a really, really good day. But anyway, it's his day. It's not going to be about Ty Simpson today. It's going to be about Fernando Mendoza. All right, man, we got to go to break. 9 o'clock hour is coming up here. Want to take a second this morning to tell you about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Hey, man, a lot of people going through some really, really rough times. You moved into a condo. You thought, this is going to be it, man. I'm going to retire here. Look at that ocean every day the rest of my life, man. Enjoy that pool and everything else. And then all of a sudden you realize property taxes, insurance, HOA dues, everything's going up. And you're going, wow, I can't afford this. I'm running my own credit card up now at 18, 19%. Pretty soon you're upside down. You're going, oh, now it's out of control. I'm about ready to, I don't know where I'm going to live here. Look, if you're going through that, let Michael Kotze Choice Mortgage help you. Get you that second mortgage and so you can pay these bills off and get you taken care of where you can start sleeping well at night. Really, and first-time homebuyer programs, little money down. If you're going through problems right now, don't worry, man. Michael Kotze's got a plan for you to get that first home you've always wanted. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. The man has no life. He's always working 7 days a week. Debt consolidation. You need that cash. Man, HOA costs going up, insurance rising, whatever it is you're going through. Michael Kotze, a reverse mortgage, by the way, super hot for these reasons. Get all that all that money out of your home that you built up, all that equity. Michael Kotze can get it done. He does it fast. He gets the paperwork done, and you're off and rolling. A lot faster than getting from the big bank, I can tell you that. Always going to get you the lowest rates. That's what Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage has done for the last 30 years, man. The man truly has no life. He's always working 7 days a week. Call or text him, 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. MLS 166254. Rates and terms are subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender, ready to help you. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage.
12:30 a.m. AM Miami, an Odyssey sports station. The home of champions, home of the 5-time national champion Miami Hurricanes, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, the 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less your pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia, DoralKia.com. Starting with the Panthers, who crushed the Senators 6-3. Next up, the Cats will host the Bruins tomorrow night. Over to the Heat, will welcome in the Boston Celtics tonight. Tip-off is at 7:30 from the Kaseya Center. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. And in baseball, the Marlins beat the White Sox 9-2. The teams will meet for the rubber match this afternoon with the first pitch at 1:10 from Lone Depot Park. And that game can be heard on 560 AM. And the Hurricanes beat up on Florida Gulf Coast 12-4. Next up, Miami hosts Virginia Tech for a 3-game series beginning Friday. Pretty good night there, Joe.
A lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff going on. Plenty more tonight, today. By the way, if you get a chance, I knew I could spit it out here in the 9 o'clock hour. White Sox in town today, 1 o'clock start. It's a good day too. If you want to go out, you stuck with family and stuff, you want to go out for lunch, because today's 4 for 44 presented by Pepsi. And it's also a chance for the Marlins to take 2 out of 3. 1:10 start at Lone Depot Park if you're heading out there. So they got today off. They've got 3 games in New York against the Yankees. Then they're going to be back. Cincinnati's in town. So lot of good games, a lot of really good promotions going on. Just go to marlins.com/tickets if you're planning on, and yeah, man, go out there for lunch. The 4 for 44 for lunch. Take everybody with me and enjoy your day. If got to get a little time off for baseball, it's okay. You can take time off for baseball. That's all right, man. By the way, speaking of baseball, man, the Canadian kids, man, Hicks and Casey, coming through big yesterday with 2 RBI each for those guys. And then on top of that, Griffin Conine gets his first home run. The bullpen continues to be lights out. Matter of fact, pitching overall, 13 strikeouts yesterday. Boy, Skip wasn't lying when he said he likes his pitching staff. Boy, that bullpen and that closer are really good. Really, really good. So anyway, got that going on. Panthers, man, I think we're going to have our head coach on Paul Maurice on Friday, but man, Senators 2 points out, and they're playing, they're trying to get a playoff position in good shape, and they come in here, and the Panthers put 5 goals on them in the first period. It was just the game. That was it. It was done. 6-3 win for them. And by the way, if anybody thinks those guys don't care, somebody forgot to tell Verhaeghe and Kachuk and Bennett and those guys who are still playing that are in the lineup, because they had really good games. Kachuk had a goal and 3 assists. Verhaeghe 2 goals and an assist. Man, those guys, they want to win. They don't care who they're playing with. They want to win, and that had to be a little more special. Kachuk playing against his brother to beat Ottawa last night. So there, and then tonight, man, Heat at home against a really good Celtics team. Honestly, the best story in basketball, Celtics, what they've been able to do. I don't know. San Antonio's a hell of a story, what they've been able to do. But, man, Tatum coming back from that Achilles will play tonight with Jaylen Brown, who's got to be one of the 3 or 4 guys for finalists for the MVP, what he's been able to do and the year that he's had. So really good stories. Had a lot of news, obviously, from out in Arizona at the NFL owners meetings. Jeff Hafley spoke yesterday. John Eric Sullivan also has been out there, and he talked to the media as well. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here this morning, and appreciate Mark coming on, Mark Ross, NFL Network analyst, and talking to us a little bit about all the other stuff. We're going to have Omar Kelly join us coming up here in this 9 o'clock hour. Talk to him about being out there and spending time with the Miami Dolphins head coach and general manager and some of the rest of the organization while they've been out there. So anyway, we do have a lot of stuff going on. We got the news about Tiger Woods. Hey, man, way to go, Tiger. You did the right thing, brother. Not easy to do. I know you're super private. Man, go get help. Go get help. Nobody's ever going to make fun or get on somebody that gets in a funk, addiction. Demons have jumped on your shoulder and you can't get them off, man. It happens. Whatever the addiction is or has been for him, go get help. Go get help, man. You can't. This what is going on needs to be fixed, especially the part of driving. So good for Tiger. He's going to seek treatment and going to be disappearing here for a while. And I wish him only the best. This is not making fun of him. This is not, I told you so. This is way to go. That guy has given me a lot of great entertainment. I am a big, big fan of, and we've lived this life, maybe more so than any other athlete, superstar athlete in their sport. Woody, do you feel like we've been through Tiger Woods' life from the cheating thing? He does this national press conference talking about his addiction to love.
Yes. Everything he's done has been very public for some reason.
And he's super private. It's not like he's doing it.
Yeah.
And then all the girls come out.
That thing the other day, it's like, it just goes to show, like that thing was on the news before, his family probably found out.
So it's a lead story in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Soon anything he does is ahead of any sport, anything going on in sports. Tiger takes a headline.
Joe, you could make
and
the
then he makes it news.
Most popular, right?
Yes.
In out of any individual athlete ever.
He's
maybe
up
most
there.
Polarizing. I mean, he's in the category of the Michael Jordans.
He is up. Yes. I'm not disagreeing with you, man. Yes.
And he plays an individual sport too. So
he's just done things in that game that nobody's ever seen.
Yeah. But Jordan was on great. I mean, all these guys are on great teams. Like, this is a guy just kind of stands on his own.
And the only thing I always, because this does pop up, and it's not a shot. I mean, the guy's he's had his demons, man. I don't know how else to say it. And I'm not reading into it why and, the father. I don't know. But if he doesn't go through all these incidents, how good is this guy if he's not dealing with 20 back surgeries and Achilles and the body doesn't break down? And by the way, a lot of this, again, is self-inflicted wounds to cause it. But if he doesn't go through all that, we're talking about.
That's a massive if, though.
Well, it didn't happen. So, but it would have been.
No, yes, you feel like you got cheated out of a lot of great stuff that he.
I got to tell you, he did a lot of it down here, man. He had some of his greatest golf at. He's had it.
And I commend the guy for trying. Right, he's as much as we laugh about that thing he's doing in Jupiter. Like, at least he's trying.
I'm not laughing. Hey, man.
I mean, I know Bo's into
they got a sports company. They've jumped in bed now with. I shouldn't say that with Tiger. They're with the NFL.
Okay.
And with his company. I wasn't a shot.
I didn't even think of it that way. No, but I get what you're saying. But
somebody's going to think I did that on purpose.
If you did,
not that smart. Not that smart. Anyway, and by the way, I'm going to be watching Fernando Mendoza today, Pro Day. I'm going to come home and I'm going to watch myself a little NFL Network to see what I think I know is going to happen. He's going to have a hell of a day throwing the ball because he's really friggin' good. And what a great story. What a great story. We got to go to break. We've got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning, so stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
The Heat have a tough one versus the Celtics tonight.
radio and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino
got his body where it needed to be to go out and do what he does every day. A lot of guys train for pro days. That's why I think Bane and Mez are going to be really good in the NFL. They didn't train for a pro day. They don't train for the pageant. I hate to be a jerk, but pro days and the combine are pageants. It ain't football. You give me 2 months to train for a pageant, I'm 51 years old. I can go look good in that, excuse my French. But put the film on and drop the mic like they did. Sorry, I take it a little personal. I apologize for the cuss words. You guys can cut that
out. I saw that yesterday, and I went, way to go, Jason. Way to go, Jason.
Jason, yeah, he's right about all that stuff.
Yeah, so Jason Taylor was had to do the press conference for spring football yesterday. And so he was, of course, not only asked about the young guys, and he got some young, talented guys, by the way, but he was asked about the 2 guys that are expected to go in the first round and could be dropping and things. And so he's asked, and he said, yeah, I told him, you did get your body ready for the NFL. Don't worry about this other stuff.
You agree with him, though? Because I can't imagine these pro days really do much for anyone.
Well,
like, I know they're fun. Like, if you're school like Miami, you got a bunch of guys. Like, it's nice to put on a little show or whatever. But is it really doing anything for anyone? When you got all that stuff, you got everyone's got at least 12 games on tape from the season.
Yeah, no, those guys.
You played all
90%. The only part that you do is the background checks and make sure they're solid. And this is not just a front they put on here in the last
but like you said, you want to watch Mendoza, and it's like, all right, like he's gonna throw to guys that are not cover. They're his guys, and I know that they have a lot of really talented.
Yeah, but he's the same situation.
They're gonna put on. But
I want to see the throws he made late in these games, man.
You can't do that at pro day.
No.
You can't teach like when he dives into the end zone on that play to win the game. Like, you can't teach that, obviously, or you can't watch that at pro day either. Like,
that's that kid's determination to get in the end zone at the biggest moment in his college career. His biggest play was his last play, not the throw. Although he had a hell of a throw on 3rd or 4th down to the back shoulder to keep a drive going. But yeah,
a lot of this stuff I think is just to fill TV time at this point, right? Like the combine being as long as it is.
I think the league still likes that stuff and putting a clock out there. Now let me tell you one thing: guys that are really athletic, that had okay careers or college careers, but they get invited because they're freakish athletes. They love to get out there and run and jump. They love to run 40s. They love the vertical jump. Now,
but all that stuff doesn't necessarily translate.
No, but there are some guys who are going to be high first-round picks. There's a couple guys from Ohio State that everybody's raving about, some of the greatest athletes they've ever seen as far as that goes. And if you put numbers with it and you're really good in college, then it helps you. But yeah, Jason had a gut full. I'm guessing he's been asked a whole bunch by these schools, and he made it clear to him, hey, man, I'm not a big believer in your workout day, your pro day. I'm not a big believer in combines. I think it's a joke. Go back and look how they played against 4 of the best teams in college football. Go back and look at Texas A&M. Go back and look at Ohio State. Go back and look at Ole Miss, and go look at how they played in that loss against Indiana. They pretty damn good show by a lot of guys, especially those 2.
They played Indiana about as well as anyone played them all season.
That was it. Yeah, except for Penn State.
So.
They had to come from behind to beat Penn State.
Yeah, and Penn State gave them a scare.
Yeah. But outside of that in the playoffs, that was the only they beat the hell out of Alabama.
They did.
Apparently that game didn't count for Ty Simpson because his guys weren't very good.
I am very intrigued to see where that guy gets drafted, by the way.
I am too.
And if he's on the board in the 2nd round somehow, I'm guessing we pounce, right?
I hope not.
Or if he's on the board and late in the first, do we move back in? Like,
no.
What do you mean no?
No. I'm not taking a quarterback in the first or second round.
What if he's sitting there in the second round?
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
now,
it.
Listen, I have no idea
how
what their evaluation is.
No, I don't either.
I have no idea.
But people like him there, and there's people like you, because they've already said, I hope if Ty Simpson's around, we might think about taking him. Not with the 11th pick, but Orlovsky it and
no, I mean I agree, not with 11, but you just never know, right? Someone could trade up and
he could be their
top 5 pick and take him.
He could be there. Yes, that is
Somebody
true.
could trade right up and just be like, "This is our guy. We're sold on him. We think he's QB1."
You know the guy that Daniel Jones went really early, and everybody went, "What the hell are they doing, Daniel Jones?"
Mm-hmm.
I remember when that took place, and the Giants took him.
They ruined him, and now he bounced back.
He's bounced back, and now he's
Sam Darnold, same thing.
Now he just got big money.
But if the guy's sitting there if somehow he falls,
I need pass rushers. I need offensive linemen. I need corners. You got me a guy for now. Now listen, if this doesn't work, I'm all for jumping right back in and getting a high draft pick quarterback, but not now. We have stripped this thing down at every position. We've stripped it down at every position.
Yeah, but
but
you can't just say, we'll get it next year if this Malik thing doesn't work out. Like if they really do believe that this guy is as good as like
they do,
Orlovsky says he is.
Oh, I thought Malik.
I don't know. No, I'm talking about the.
Our guys love
Alabama
Malik Willis.
Guy.
There's nothing fake about how they feel about Malik Willis.
No, I heard everything they had to say about him,
and they know him.
And they've talked a lot about his character.
They've lived with him for 2 years.
And, yeah,
they know everything. They know mom and dad. They've seen him and been around him. And
they also said there's going to be competition here.
Not with him.
So if they evaluate Simpson, which I assume that they will, right? I mean, they have to. So if they think he's the guy, if they evaluate and they give him a great grade, I don't want to hear years later that they loved him, but they just didn't want to pull the trigger, because then you'd be like one of the Josh Allen or
can't worry
all these
about
other
it.
Quarterbacks we've missed on over the years.
I don't want to be talking about what we don't have. I want to talk about what we have. And we got Malik Willis.
I'm hoping Malik is the guy for the next 10 years.
I hope he ends up being the guy for the next 5 or 6 years. Really good.
You don't want to go full 10? No. You want to be full pig?
Don't worry.
But it's the Green Bay way, man. They have a guy that starts there for 20 years and hands it off.
We haven't gotten 10 good years out of our last 2 first-round quarterbacks. We've had, total of maybe 2 or 3 good years between them.
I don't even know what you define as a good year anymore, but
that's true too.
Our definition of a good year is
how many good years do you think Tua had? Really good years.
It depends what your definition of a good year is.
Tua had one
statistically or winning?
Both. He had one really good year where he stayed healthy for 17 games.
He didn't win a playoff game his entire time.
He put up good numbers. That was a good year.
I don't know that you can call a starting franchise quarterback's year a good year if you get bounced in the
first round of
the playoffs. But
I think you can. I told you I'm giving him one. Okay. And the other years it might have been good, but he got hurt. But I'm sorry, he got hurt. He got hurt a lot.
But again, our definition of good is a whole heck of a lot different than other markets.
Hey, listen, man.
If you tell Buffalo that, like, hey, you guys are gonna have a respectable, close to 500 record and get bounced in the wild card round.
You're right. I don't argue with that. When fans come up and say we haven't been, you're right.
Look what they did. They fired their coach. Look how close they were. They fired their coach.
Yeah, the guy won a playoff game. He got fired.
Yeah.
The guy went to Jacksonville.
Definition is a little
different. The guy went to Jacksonville and won a game, and he lost his job. And we haven't won a playoff game 20. You're right, Woody. It's a different deal here. Hey, by the way, we got more stuff. Speaking of Malik, Omar Kelly, Miami Herald Dolphins columnist, got up early this morning. He's going to come on with us. We'll talk to him about the Dolphins, their general manager, their head coach, Chop Robinson. We'll get into all of it next with Omar. Stay with us.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Loctite Windows, Doors, and Roofing.